All right. The Mariners acquired Taylor Ward today in the first of a flurry of moves at the MLB trade deadline. This hot stove is heating up. Welcome to the Dom Skeen channel, your one-stop shop for the Mariners storylines on Seattle's minds. And yeah, we are here. I'm just going to start out with the Billy Bean quote because Moneyball has been on my mind today. We're going to have Don joining, by the way. We're going to have Jack joining. So strap yourselves in. I've got my water here. Get ready to, hydrate up, get ready to fuel up because these GMs are, they've got their water, they've got their coffee, they're mainlining, water and coffee, staying up probably all night last night. And yeah, this is, the Billy Bean quote, as he says it, one of the most famous GMs of all time, obviously. The first 2 months, everybody's figuring out what they have. The second 2 months, everybody's going out and acquiring what they need. The last 2 months, that's when you really play. And the home stretch is coming. After today, it's the home stretch. There's no doubt about it. Let me know in the chat, because wow, the hot stove is hot, right? What do you think of the Mariners move for Taylor Ward? We're going to grade that real quick. We're going to break that down to start out. Make sure to drop a like on the stream. As always, thank you everybody for 400 subscribers. It means a lot to hit 400. There was last year at this time, I was just trying to get 20. So appreciate everybody massively. But we're going to be here going 1-0 every pitch, no matter what. So strap in. It's time to pull Baseball Savant up and get this thing underway. We have so many moves flying through right now. But to start out, as always, any questions you guys have, happy to answer them. Throw them in the chat. We'll break anything down here on the 1-0 podcast. So, pulled up right here. So, Mariners acquire Taylor Ward. They don't give up too much, just a couple minor league arms. Harrison Kreidler starting out. He has a nice kick change. And then looking at Alex Hoppe, he's a big, athletic righty, and he throws hard, but he also allows hard contact, and he's not really like polished or anything. So I appreciate the Mariners acquiring a veteran in Seranthony Dominguez. My favorite piece about it is I think the veteran leadership, the fact that he's pitched in 2 World Series, knows what it feels like to allow that grand slam to Eugenio Suarez in Game 5 of the ALCS last year against the Mariners at T-Mobile Park. Also knows what it feels like to shut down the Mariners in inning 6 of Game 7 of the ALCS last year. On the route to the World Series. So he throws hard. I think, his velocity is the great equalizer. And I'm a big believer in, you acquire somebody like Seranthony Dominguez. Yeah, the contract, it's about half as bad as Luis Castillo. And I do think Dominguez is better in the bullpen in a vacuum than Castillo. It's a higher floor option. And that's what the Mariners are looking for. You have high ceiling options in a whole lot of these guys, but you don't have the high floor options. That I would think that you would really want. So that's why I'm a big fan of Dominguez. Anyway, the bullpen piece you gave up, Hoppe, Kreidler, that's one thing. But Ward here. Now, we talked about the Mariners, right? They love guys that do not chase. That's like the main thing for them in these right-handed hitters, because there's been so few right-handed hitters to have success at T-Mobile Park. And Taylor Ward shows signs of a guy who, okay, you might not hit the ball that much, right? 250 XBA for Taylor Ward and 246 batting average. So he's right in line with his expected batting average with his actual one. And it's not terrible. He's at 246 exactly before too. And look at 663 plate appearances the last 2 years. This is a dependable option. He's 32, so he's a little bit of a veteran, a little bit of experience, but also not really experience on winning teams. Considering, you go look at his, obviously traded to Baltimore for Adley Rutschman this offseason in a move that was puzzling because it basically told us, oh, Grayson Rodriguez is kind of, the Orioles are willing to give up on him, to that level of trading him for Taylor Ward, only, who's an expiring contract, only because Grayson has not worked out, to this point. He has at certain points. So he's been a top 15 pitcher at points, in my book. But also, what it tells you is that his arm is kind of, not where it once was, and they don't think that it can get back to that level. Considering that, a good move for Baltimore, and then they flip, for some prospects. Oh boy, Savant Illustrator. I haven't actually looked at this tool. So interesting. Taylor Ward. Let's look at this. Because first of all, looking at this, right? The not chase is good. The whiff percentage being pretty good. As well. Like this guy doesn't chase. He also doesn't whiff. So chasing is more of like chasing outside of the zone. That more has to do with the zone stuff. Whereas the whiff stuff is more like in the zone as well. On pitches that are strikes. Like, are you whiffing? And he's good at both of those. Which results in the 98th percentile walk rate. The K rate also pretty good. 20.4 percentile. So or 20.4 57th percentile. Excuse me. It's gonna be a long day. We know that. There is a whole lot going on here. And any questions you guys have, any news, as it comes in, I appreciate you guys update me. I'm gonna have to make sure that my feed, I can be able to refresh and see everything that's going on. Yeah, I haven't built up my big collection of tabs. Let me know what you guys have open as far as sources right now. For me, first thing I got to do is pull up my, some of my like feeds on Twitter. Wow. All right. Jake Rogers is also going from Orioles to Red Sox in this trade, according to a source, as Alex Spire reported. That's a Boston reporter who does good work. Has had reports of things, relating to the Mariners. I think in Rob Refsnyder's case, that ended up coming true. O's getting right-handed pitcher Anthony Ianson. That was reported by Passan as part of the trade. Kyson, right-handed pitcher Kyson Witherspoon. That's a big name. First rounder recently in the MLB draft, who pretty athletic from what I know. I don't know too much, but that's a pretty big prospect. I know one of these guys is a number 4 prospect. One's a number 9 prospect for the Red Sox. They just traded outfielder Endy Azakar. So let me get this up on here on the screen. I'm gonna do this. Hold on, guys. And then so basically they get that Carlos Narvaez, the Gold Glove winner, the American League catcher last year, and then the Sox are getting Adley Rutschman and Jake Rogers, 2 catchers. So a big catcher swap, between Baltimore and the Red Sox. This makes total sense on both sides. The O's get the better of, like, Narvaez is better than Rogers by a substantial margin, a starter versus a backup. Then Adley kind of goes for this big package of prospects. And then a player to be named later as well for cash, just kind of evening things out. This is just a big, trade on both sides. 5 different assets, from Boston going to Baltimore, then 3 different assets going from Baltimore to Boston. And all right, Jake Rill, Orioles beat reporter. So he has another tweet here that I want to put up because he's talking about, he's reporting to the Baltimore, community on the trades that the Orioles and the Mariners just made, which is the first one of like these 2 kind of regimes tenures. So it looks like Alex Hoppe, so he's, just thrown the ERA out there, and it's not too impressive, obviously. Harrison Krylen has not pitched above low A. Brock Moore had a 5.56 ERA, right? So he's just reporting on ERA, and it doesn't sound like he's telling, any deep story on any of these guys. He's not really analyzing. He's just showing the stats, which obviously on the surface, looking at it this way, this perspective is, going to say that they're not too valuable, but you get 3 different arms that are, between the ages of 24 and 27, all with some control. And I think the Orioles see that and they're like, okay, we need this, arms depth. So Harrison Krylen has a nice kick change. Brock Moore, I I've heard some, chatter about him being a decent, guy for the Mariners to trade, an arm that they've kind of developed in the lower levels. And um, Alex Hoppy, again, big athletic. You can't be too upset about letting him go, but there's something there. It's not nothing. And shout out to the Mariners, because when you look at this, when you now take a step back and you look at it from Jerry DePoto's perspective, being shrewd moves is kind of what we like to do at the deadline. Um, it's like, okay, we acquire Taylor Ward on an expiring contract, but who's going to be a contributor for us, most days, mostly every day, the rest of the season, barring any unforeseen circumstances such as injuries. And you give up a guy in Alex Hoppy who you acquired, you just signed straight up right as the offseason began this year. He was like one of your first signings, along with, like, I think you traded for Robinson Ortiz with the Dodgers. Then you give up Harrison Kryling, who from their perspective has not pitched above low A, who that's not a incredibly valuable asset, obviously. And then Brock Moore, not an incredibly valuable asset. It's not even a top 13 or 15 prospect or anything. Looking at like the Mariners pipeline. So Cade Anderson also is a big story today. I've got a lot to talk about that with you guys on, but let's do this. All right. So go down here and you'll see that, as far as the guys that the Mariners just gave up, not a single one top 30, it looks like. I don't know if this is updated or something like that. But let's look at the Orioles and see, are any of these guys on theirs already? I don't think that's the way that works, though. So I don't know. I guess these guys aren't on there. Ike Irish, I always thought was a cool name. But anyway, let's see. Back to the Mariners. Like, your farm is still in great shape. The big news of the day, right? Cade Anderson, which let's just go look at him. Fastball, they gave a 60 grade, and they gave the changeup a 60. I would actually say now, from what I hear, the changeup is more impressive than the fastball by a decent margin. And the fastball is just kind of more in the mid, 90s. He is dominating Double A like nobody's ever, seen before. And he was so good in college. It's like, he just seems like such a ready guy. And when you go with the philosophy that there's no such thing as a pitching prospect, it's like this guy is a good pitcher right now. So he's the top pitching prospect in many regards. He's obviously the Mariners' top prospect. Going to be in the rotation soon. I would advise any of you who play fantasy baseball, pick up Cade Anderson. I don't care what your league is. I don't care if it's an 8-team league, how shallow, 10-team, obviously. I picked him up in a 10-team league. I didn't get to him in another 10-team I have, or a 14-teamer I have. But get Cade Anderson, absolute must-add in fantasy baseball. Best pitching prospect to debut in 2026, most likely. So, that's the type of hype that, around the league, they should be seen for this guy. Should be getting some of our friends in here soon. And drop a like on the stream. Obviously. Thank you guys again for 400 subs. Means a lot. 403 now. I've had a goal of like 500 kind of for this season, or shortly thereafter. Kind of that's like the goal that I'm working towards. And I thought it was a realistic goal. Obviously, I don't control how many subs I get, but I appreciate how successful the streams have been the last couple of days. You guys have absolutely been crushing it. I appreciate all your thoughtful chats and live stream. It can be tough to build such a thoughtful community on YouTube, especially from the ground up. Just going out there and sharing the stuff. So appreciate you guys greatly. And Make sure you guys hydrate. We're strapped in. I don't, care if I know, the viewers are kind of going up and down. That's not a big deal. Obviously, if you're starting out YouTube, number one piece of advice: don't worry about views. And like before the year or something. Yeah, but he's right in line with the projections. You like to see that. Excuse me. Group by career. Okay, here are his T-Mobile Park career stats. 2 teams, obviously, 30 games, 127 plate appearances, so a decent sample over the course of like 7 years. 118 at bats, 23 hits, 15 singles, 6 doubles, no triples, 2 homers, 13 runs, 7 RBI, 6 walks, no intentional walks, 35 strikeouts, 1 hit by pitch, 2 sac flies, no sacrifice hit, or whatever that is, SH. Let me know what it is in the chat if you know. GD grounded double play. 3 no steals, 1 caught stealing, and a 195 average. So not great. Advanced. Let's look at it. Oh, yeah, just a 5% walk rate. So maybe the batter's eye could be a problem for him. Something maybe to look at early on. Just obviously want to see how he looks. Tomorrow in this Detroit series where Tiger is going to be without Tarik Skubal, kind of the start of a new era. Whereas we played them in the ALDS last year and had such an amazing historic season. Timer going off on my thing. Padres have reached out on Dalton Varsho. Interesting. I guess I heard Robbie Ray. Yeah, there was a whole flurry right before I went live. Angels and Cubs are not close on a trade for Reed Detmers. After reported that Cubs are acquiring Reed Detmers from Los Angeles Angels. Here's what we need to pull up. I'll show you guys what we need to pull up. Here's what we're pulling up. Brendan Donovan will be activated, obviously there. That's for tomorrow. So Kyle Harrison likely to be activated. Okay. Blue Jay, M237, our first chat of the trade deadline stream. Hey, Dom, good to see you. Great to see you as well. Let me know, Blue Jay, what have you seen today? Taylor Ward, not bad so far. Didn't have to give up much. That's absolutely right. You didn't even give up guys that were on the top 30 prospects list. You gave a couple depth arms up. Kind of at the ages that they could be good or something. Here, I'll throw this up for you. So Alex Hoppe, right, 27. Harrison Kryling, 24. He has a nice kick change. Saw some videos of him for the first time last week. And then Brock, shout out to Mariners Down Under for posting those, by the way. I said it reminded me of Yusei Kikuchi just watching it a couple times. And then Brock Moore, 26. But again, these guys, the two that are, Brock Moore, AA, high ERA, Alex Hoppe, MLB, high ERA, but big and athletic, could be something there. These are really like next year type arms, not this year type arms. So, good for the Orioles who are selling, obviously, just made the Adley trade. Going to talk about Adley and Fenway in a little bit. But then getting on to Taylor Ward, in which case we go over here. And what I want to look at for Taylor Ward, look at these plate discipline metrics. There's not really a bad plate discipline metric. Such Luke Weaver, Brazoban, and Brooks Raley got traded. We desperately need a good bullpen arm. Absolutely agree. With the bullpen arms, those let's see. So yeah, Luke Weaver. Let's go talk about. Let's go back to the transaction. We got a lot going on, obviously. But let's go Weaver. Yep. So for Luke Weaver, it was Sammy Stafura, which I did see a tweet on about Stafura. I guess the Pirates were working to acquire him, and then they did. Let's see. So I guess 3 top 5 prospects for Adley. So quite a bit for Adley Rutschman from the Red Sox. Weaver, and then look at Brazoban and Rayleigh. So Rayleigh goes to the Phillies, Brazoban to the White Sox, Weaver to the Pirates, just kind of going to the contenders. Bullpen arms consolidating on the last day. You love to see it. You knew it was going to happen eventually, but confirmation today as the team just saying, all right, it's time to go. It's time to do this thing. We've only got 2 hours and 15 minutes to the trade deadline, folks. We're locked in till then. Let's see what these guys got by team. Oh, here we go. All right. Jack, how you doing, my friend?
What's going on, bud?
All right. Hold on. I'm going to get you on my headset.
Sorry, the freaking laptop was dead, and I had to, charge it.
Yeah. All right, I got you on here, Jack. Do you think Dipoto is done? I sure hope not, Tom. No, I do not think Dipoto is done. I think that he is working right now. I don't think he's going to panic and make a move that he doesn't need to make, but I think he's working on bullpen right now, obviously. So Mariners, these 2 trades coming in, this one on Saturday afternoon, this one today. The first one's for Anthony Dominguez, Nolan Jones, Boston Smith, from the White Sox for Luis Castillo. And then the second one today, it was Taylor Ward from the Orioles for Alex Hoppe, Brock Moore, and Harrison Fryling. Jack, I want to welcome you in. What do you think about these 2 moves? What do you think about the trade deadline?
I mean, it's the stove is cooking. It's definitely cooking. I think when you look at Taylor Ward, right, I love the player. I think he was tormented us with the Angels for so many years. Gets traded to the Orioles for Grayson Rodriguez. At the time, I thought it was a risky move, but I mean, he hasn't had the best. I mean, he hasn't had the track record season. He had 36 home runs last year, but you know what? The guy gets on base, leads the American League in walks. At the end of the day, I think I think back to that Moneyball scene, right? Doesn't matter if you hit gajillion home runs. What matters is that you get on base. And that's something that the Mariners have needed desperately, consistently this season. And you just need a guy to get on base.
The on-base skills for Taylor Ward. You got great sliders on Baseball Savant on all of the plate discipline metrics. Chase, 100th percentile, pacing the league in chase, which the Mariners, what they get in right-handed hitting, they do. You look at the ballpark right here, right? We know the Mariners looking at T-Mobile Park, right, with Edgar's out here. You got the bullpen right here. It's something that you have to be cognizant about because there's not been that many right-handed hitters overall that have had success in T-Mobile Park, in the Marine Layer, in Seattle's pitching-friendly environment, the most in the league. So that when they do get right-handed hitters, from Rob Refsnyder to Mitch Garver to guys all over the place, unless it's Julio, right, and it's a crazy talent, you got to go for somebody in their opinion, with the low chase rates, which are really good, the low whiff rates that are really good, and then a good strikeout to walk rate, and then Ward having that 3% strikeout to walk rate, incredibly high 98th percentile walk rate, then a 57th percentile strikeout rate. Does swing hard. The average exit velocity this year, not that high overall, but he still has shown the ability to hit homers. In his career, he's 32. It would be a little bit unlikely that the power would completely drop off. 36 homers last year. And another good thing, 663 plate appearances each of the last 2 years, incredibly consistent, on pace for 600 again this year.
I would not recommend looking up Taylor Ward's career numbers at T-Mobile Park.
So that's what I just did actually before
Oh,
you
yeah.
just joined us. So
Before I just
yeah,
okay.
a 46 WRC plus. Not great at T-Mobile Park. I was like, yeah, let's look this up, right? That seems relevant. But clearly the Mariners think that isn't going to stop him. What do you think about that, Jack?
I mean, he gets to play there consistently, though. So, I mean, like, I don't know. You know, it is Taylor Ward. At the end of the day, it's Taylor Ward. He's still the same Taylor Ward as with the Orioles, with the Angels. He's going to get a chance to play at T-Mobile Park more consistently now. So maybe that'll change up, you know, how he fares in that ballpark. But we'll just have to wait and see.
Right. What I would like to see is like
even if Taylor Ward's only a Mariner for 2 months, he has to make it the best 2 months, make it worth it.
The good thing about Taylor Ward, well, let's go look at this too. Pitch level kind of data. Pitch type and velo. So, pitch values. So you look at him against different pitches early on in his career, you know, not good against too many different types of pitches. Blue Jay M237. Crazy how the O's got rid of Adley. The guy's such a great player. It is. And Adley in Fenway, just for fun. I know, we're locked in on the Mariners, but until something comes out, which we'll know as soon as something comes out here on the Mariners.
Oh, we got breaking trade right here. Cubs are acquiring Ryan Zephyr-John from the Angels.
Okay, Ryan Zephyr-John from the Angels. We're going to go ahead and pull up Ryan Zephyr-John.
The Cubs have made a significant amount of moves. That's one thing I've noticed. They seem to be the team that are wanting to get it, get after it the most right now.
Interesting. Let's go ahead and look this up.
Angels fire sale continues.
Yep. Jeff Passan 4 minutes ago. Let's just go for fun. Let's refresh this. I guess the Angels also just traded Brent Suter.
Oh, really? They traded Suter too?
Look at let me share this. Yeah. So Brent Suter acquired from Angels for Nacho Alvarez Jr.
Oh yeah, that was a couple of hours ago. Yeah.
Okay. This isn't too old. Okay, this is a little bit old. It doesn't have quite a few on here. Okay, but what will have it? Is there a good tracker that any of you guys know of? Anybody type in the chat if you know a good, what is the most up-to-date trade deadline tracker? Is it maybe ESPN because they've got Passan?
I'm just refreshing.
Oh yeah, look at this. Yeah, so this is refreshing. ESPN. Shout out to ESPN. Got a pretty good one. Padres finalizing trade for Ray. Phillies got a rise. Did you see that?
I did see that. Yeah,
I didn't see that.
That was one of the first moves this morning. Yeah,
I didn't even see that. It's all been flying. Brewers add pitching from the Cardinals. Dustin May and Jojo Romero.
Yeah.
Yep. What the Rutschman trade shows. The Rutschman trade is why you still frequently hear team is asking for a crazy return for a player. They must not actually want to trade him. Sometimes the answer is yes. They wanted a crazy return, and the return was crazy. Let me throw this up on the screen. Look at this. This is the full trade. Do you see Jake Rogers ended up in this?
I did see that, yeah.
And so Narvaez also ends up the Gold Glove winner from last year. So it really ends up being the way I see this is Narvaez for Rogers, which is obviously a starter for a backup. The O's get the starter, the Sox get the backup.
Right.
Then there's the PTBNL and the cash, whatever, right? Which balanced at the very end. This guy edited the tweet at 12:23, a half hour ago only, and then these four other prospects: Anthony Ianson, Kyson Witherspoon, Andy Azakar, or those three, sorry, I think are the Adley package. Which one of them is the fourth one of them is the ninth one. Neto could be a Ray. I'm hearing from somebody. Take all this with a grain of salt that I'm about to say, purely conjecture. Somebody thinks Neto is a Twin or a Red Sox. Ray would be crazy. They have the pieces.
I guess I'm looking here. Bob Nightingale. The Astros are talking to the Twins about Trevor Larnach.
Interesting. Would he be like he's a righty, right?
No, he's a left-handed hitter.
He's a lefty, so he can't hit the Crawford boxes.
No.
Okay. Yeah, O's. I mean, getting rid of Adley, he's a great player. They got a big package back, and I think what makes sense for them. Listen to this, Jack. The O's move towards away from the switch hitting catcher, approach, because Adley wasn't really getting everything out of their ballpark. I actually want to look at this, and we'll see if another trade comes in here after the most recent trade we have. By the way, you guys, just that if you're joining right now, the most recent trade we have is Zephyr John going to the Cubs from the Los Angeles Angels. Read an article. Fairbanks could be available. Do you guys think M's could have a look at him? Fairbanks and Mooney in the back end of the bullpen would be deadly. Jack, let me ask you how you feel about this, just to see if we can find a match that makes sense. Do you think that Fairbanks warrants more? He has been injured this year. Does he warrant more of a Emerson Hancock, or does he warrant more of a Luke Raley? Does any of that sound like stuff that either team would like to do?
You see, I think that's where you kind of have to draw the line. Like, Luke Raley, like, you see, that's a tough one, just because, like you did mention, Fairbanks has been hurt this year. He has had some stuff that maybe the Rays, or if the Rays are going to deal him, right, there could be some stuff on there that they don't want to get out there. And, like, I remember what was the trade? Wasn't there a trade this year? Like, one of the first trades that happened, and then, like, the guy immediately got hurt.
Curtis Mead.
Curtis Mead,
early.
Yeah.
So
Curtis
early
Mead,
got hurt, like either like right after they did the trade, before the physical even happened.
Yeah.
And then Mead got hurt as soon as the Red Sox got him, and he played with them like one game or something.
Not even
one. Yeah, Fairbanks is with the Marlins, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna trade him to see. I don't know how much it says we can retain. We can either do this, right? Trade to see. We can retain 100%. We can retain 75, retain 50. He's worth $4 million right now, just for the rest of the year, more than Sandy. Dude, Sandy's not getting dealt, right?
That's a little surprising.
There's other pitching options for all the other teams, it looks like. Is that right?
I mean, you know what? We still got 2 hours left. There could be something going down that we have no idea that's happening. So we still got 2 hours. I mean, the stove is simmering a little bit, as opposed to maybe like an hour and a half ago. But I think it'll start to boil the next half hour.
Also, so with want to ask you with Ward real quick.
Yeah.
Does he play left, right? Where does he play? Let's look at how much he's played in each spot.
I think you put him in right field. I think that's Randy's spot. If you're not dealing Randy, like there are many reports, every report indicates they're not going to trade Randy now. So keep Randy in left where he's comfortable, where he's played all year. Taylor Ward can play any outfield position, left or right. he'll do fine in right field. I think that gives Dom Canzone a little bit more of a DH role. You could also platoon DH Ward and Canzone. Maybe throw out Robles in the outfield if you're looking to.
I feel like you can't get Canzone's bat out of the lineup. I feel like that is a little
Well, okay, yeah, okay. Maybe not platoon DH him, but maybe you
DH1.
Maybe
You
kind of mix in right field with Ward and Canzone, and then DH.
With both of them,
flip flop DH spot.
Yeah. You have flexibility now. I guess since we haven't brought the name up today, where does Michael Arroyo stand now? Ward kind of blocks Arroyo because he kind of does the same thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that.
So Arroyo might not be, dude. Does Arroyo get traded, or does the organization somehow keep? I mean, if you're not going to call him up now when he's mashing in AAA, you kind of need that, right? The offense is struggling. With his role kind of as the need, then if not now, when, right?
Exactly.
With him. So it's like maybe you can move him and get a really solid bullpen arm and keep trying to win this arms race.
I mean, if there's anything we've seen from Jerry Dipoto, though, it's like he gives up low A ball guys. He gives up low double A guys, right, to get these players. So if you trade Michael Arroyo at this point, who's progressed very, very well, you can get something really, really good for Michael Arroyo. Based off what's happened, I think who's still out there? Like Morejon is out there, right?
I thought
talk to the Padres. If you can't get Mason Miller, which at this point is pretty unlikely, I don't think they're going to be able to get Mason Miller, but Morejon, maybe. Then you get 3 leveraged lefties in your pen, which isn't the worst thing in the world to have. It's actually a luxury to have 2 lefties, let alone 3 leveraged lefties in your pen down the stretch.
Right. Morejon would be a great acquisition. Yeah, and I've talked about this a little bit last night, but when I consider the bullpen, obviously you're going to have 8 guys. I'll pull this up for us to take a peek at. Depth charts. So here's where the Mariners stand now with the roster after the Taylor Ward trade. Fangraph says Taylor Ward has been overall the 73rd best hitter in baseball. That's a little bit ahead of Cole Young at 75. And that's because he's walking so much. He has 117 WRC plus. Young has a 114. Morejon would be a great acquisition. Absolutely agree with you, Blue Jay. Morejon would really strengthen this bullpen, which we're going to go down to in a sec. And Kirby gone for sure soon. West Coast says, I disagree. I don't think Kirby's gone for sure. I think teams want Kirby, but I think he's expensive. I think that's Mason Miller or bust. Or Kirby's staying a Mariner. But going and looking at the bullpen, as you see the bench, so they put the bench as having 5 now.
Oh, which by the way, I'm seeing this tweet now. It sounds like Sir Anthony Dominguez is replacing obviously Hoppy, and Ward is replacing Fairchild on the roster.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Cool. It looks like we don't have anything new. I'm going to refresh. See if we get a refresh poll. Nope, nothing new yet.
And then Donovan, it looks like Donovan's going to replace either one of Weston Wilson or Leo Rivas. It's probably going to be Leo Rivas.
This is 14 guys right here, plus 5 more. That's 19. And then, plus the 8. That's 27 guys. Yeah, so I don't know how they have all these guys still on the roster. So Sports Illustrated wrote an article today that the Padres want Kate Anderson for Mason Miller. I saw that. Let's talk about that for a second. So Padres wanting Kate Anderson for Mason Miller. I understand it. Kirby, I think Anderson, both of those make sense. If I'm the Mariners, I don't want to trade Kate Anderson. I want to if you like, Jack, I'll just ask you straight up, who's more valuable, Cade Anderson or George Kirby to you right now?
Cade Anderson, by far.
Why?
By far.
Why? Oh, Angels. Hey, Angels got Ballesteros from the Cubs. Did they give up Soriano? Did they give up Detmers? The Angels made another deal with the Cubs. They stayed on the phone and they said, let's just do another. And okay, we don't have it on ESPN refreshing. Francis Romero, Moises Ballesteros is part of the return to the Angels in the Ryan Zephyr-John trade, per sources. That sounds like a fleece to me for the Angels. Jack.
Okay.
Moises Ballesteros is good.
They must be, there must be centering around him now.
Dude.
He's 22. He's got,
5'8", 195.
He's a big dude. Yeah, they're centering around him now.
Get ready for Mozeliak to be getting a lot of praise. Wow. The Cubs, kind of shake things out and they say, Moises Ballesteros and Mason McGuire. We're going to go over to Pipeline and we're going to see where these guys ranked on Pipeline for the Cubs, because this is pretty surprising. I knew Ballesteros. I mentioned that to this group chat, the Spanish group chat. Cade under team control and cheap contract till 2031. I would agree, Blue Jay. That's the reason that he's more valuable. Now, is Ballesteros still on the prospects list, or I guess they're saying that he has a.
He's been up pretty consistently. Yeah,
he has, and he's been good.
Yeah.
He's been actually really, really good. Mason McGuire looks like his ETA is 2028. He's their 18th prospect. He has some 50 grade pitches, a 55 grade curveball. Could be a splitter. So yeah, this could be interesting. It's this is Mark McGuire's son that the Cubs had. They traded to the Angels.
Wow,
interesting. Fangraphs has who 44. Frias. Oh, Alexander Frias. Okay, just seeing some stuff on Twitter. Making sure that we're not missing anything. Make sure to drop a like on the stream. Appreciate you guys in here. Blue Jay, what do you think of the fact that the Angels are kind of making some moves here, really kind of rebuilding? And now you look at the Angels lineup, all of a sudden, Moises Ballesteros, they're getting younger. They're getting more control. They're moving in the right direction for sure. For the first time in a while, you can say, the Angels, that's a really savvy move and honestly seems like just a really good deal overall for them. Back to our Mariners tab. So looking at everything that we've got, right, the 180-ish players in our organization, who are guys that, in the minor leagues that we might move? Jack, do you know anybody in the minor leagues that you want to talk about that, maybe could be of value to other teams? I know Mason Peters, I've seen mentioned a lot today. He's like the number 13 or 15 prospect. People thought he might be a 1-for-1 swap for Ward. Maybe now you can use him to go get a major league reliever. Wow. The Brewers gave up apparently the Fangraphs number 44 overall prospect to get Dustin May.
Wow.
Does that surprise you, Jack?
That's a little surprising. I mean, I think though, if you look at this though, like, what the Brewers want to do. I think they have the best chance in the National League to beat the Dodgers. They
do.
I think that there's no other team, I think, in the National League right now that are as good as the Dodgers. And the Brewers are right there. They're not, they're going all in.
Their record is similarly dominant. I do want to say, shout out to Fantasy Baseball today. They had an excellent live stream last night talking about Tarek Skubal, talking about the Brewers and the Dodgers. And the Brewers kind of could have given up stuff to get Tarek Skubal. Like, let's not mince words. The Brewers could have matched that package of Zahir Hope and River Ryan. Zahir Hope having, in Double-A, like, he's a guy with some power, but he was like not even their third or fourth. He's like their third or fourth best outfield prospect, the Dodgers. So the Dodgers didn't have to give up their best guys. They're still set up for the future. And then River Ryan's like 28, and apparently the Tigers wanted Emmett Sheehan, and the Dodgers ended up, kind of saying, no, we're going to give you River Ryan instead. I like River Ryan and I like Emmett Sheehan both, but it's just surprising the Dodgers were able to do it without even giving up their first choice outfield prospect or pitching prospect. Isn't it, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, right? The Dodgers are just going to be the Dodgers. I don't think that necessarily that. I mean, of course they care about their guys in their organization, right? But you know what the Dodgers' philosophy is, and that's to win every year. That's to win with as much talent as you can get. And right now, that doesn't factor in. How much does the lockout factor into this? Factor into these trades? That's something I actually wanted to talk to you about specifically.
The lockout
is how is the lockout affecting the market today?
How is the lockout affecting the market? I think some teams are more willing to move players and more willing to kind of sign contracts because they think, some of that stuff is going to change and they want to, I don't know. Do you have thoughts kind of beyond that or what?
I mean, I think that it's pretty evident right now that teams are. It seems like we're getting less of the club control moves that I thought that we were going to get because of the lockout, because of the fact that there may not be a season next year. So I think all these teams are trying to go all in right now. Some teams more often than not. The Brewers are going all in right now. The Cubs are going all in right now.
Breaking
Obviously,
news.
the Dodgers with what they've done.
And sorry to interrupt you, but
Yep.
Breaking news. Dalton Varsho is close to going to the Astros, per source. It's in medical review. The return will be starting pitcher Spencer Arrighetti.
That's a fleece.
Something on ESPN. Okay, completed deal. So, yeah, Jeff Passan now reporting right now, a few seconds ago, Houston Astros are finalizing a deal to acquire center fielder Dalton Varsho from the from the Toronto Blue Jays. Sources tell ESPN. The Athletic, Mitch Bannon got it right before Passan 108, 109. But yeah, this one, wow, Varsho got traded. He did. Varsho indeed got traded. What do you think of this, Jack? Just first of all, seeing a guy with a lot of power and speed, a Gold Glove threat, moving to the Astros.
I mean, I think it's a great move for
Houston, right?
For Houston, yeah.
Got to give them credit, even though, I mean, they are the Mariners' rivals. They're, every bit in this thing. And how many series? I know we are leading,
we've already secured the tiebreaker on Houston.
And let's just look at the FanGraphs playoff odds, so we can see where these teams are kind of operating from with, just one model's, stuff. So odds to make the playoffs, Astros now at 56%, 0.3%. I don't know if these are updated right now with the trades. I don't think so, but 50% for the Mariners, better than Rangers, which are, just right there with the Mariners in record, but 37% for them. Then win division, so 40.5% Astros, 36% Mariners, 23.4% Rangers. Do you think that's fair, Jack?
I think it's pretty evident right now, and I don't know what factors go into those percentages right now, or if it's based on schedule, if it's based on if it's based on what the team's doing, but I mean, honestly, Rangers are ice cold right now. There's all these reports indicating that they are willing to trade anybody.
And they've been making trades today.
Yeah.
Should we go look at them real quick?
Yeah, I know that the Josh Smith was the main one that they made.
Right.
Yeah, I got the ESPN trade deadline special on my phone to the side right here. Try to see if anything comes up here before.
Yeah, so Okay, we are doing our thing. Oh, whoop. All right, here, hold on. I'm going to share this again. Give me one word to describe your kind of feeling right now, your gut feeling just around the whole thing.
Man,
I'm like bordering on nervous and anxious.
Yeah, I think like overall, like they always say like no news is good news. I feel like right now no news is like anxious. Like you did like you said.
I like the way you said that. I think that sums it up pretty well.
Yeah.
Looking at Rangers. Here's their lineup now. This has got Josh Smith out of it. Cam Colley, some interesting stuff like with their bench. What do you think of this Rangers lineup right now? I mean, do they still have a chance at staving off the Mariners? Like if they just get on a crazy, crazy tear.
I mean,
Peterson, Langford, Seager, Nimmo, Berger, Carter.
I mean,
Duran, Lopez, Diaz.
Replace Elias Diaz once Logan O'Hoppe is healthy. That's going to be lethal when Logan O'Hoppe comes back.
Jacob Blatz, man, he's just been so good. He's been the best reliever in the division.
Yeah.
And look at their depth too, or like their injured guys. They got Higashioka, obviously, Jansen, 2 catchers in there. Am I missing anything on this? And okay. So Arrighetti going back to the Blue Jays, actually. I need to consider that for a second, but him going back to the Blue Jays, let's go back to, over to the Blue Jays and look at their depth chart, for the future, because they're kind of building for the future at this point, right?
The Blue Jays they have a weird deadline right now because they're in a lot worse position right now because of how good that division is. They're way further back than the Mariners are right now. So it's interesting to see how the Blue Jays are kind of selling, but at the same time, like,
oh shit! Did you realize? Did you realize, dude, that the Blue Jays got Jose Soriano?
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot about that too. Arrighetti and Soriano. The Blue Jays are really reloading on the arms for next year. I mean, because you look at their rotation. Look at this. They've got so much depth in here. They've got Cease, Scherzer, Bieber. I can't believe Scherzer's still there. He's old. And they did just get rid of Gosman. So that, one out, 2 in. Soriano, then Arrighetti is going to be added here to the bottom of this list. So when you reslot this rotation, you'll have Cease. You'll probably have like Cease, Soriano, right?
Yeah.
And then maybe like Bieber, Savage, Arrighetti, and then Bieber. I want to get back over to Blue Jay because, obviously he's named after the Blue Jays. He is an M's fan from Canada, though. Shout out to him. That Sexpress says M's fanable. I was hoping Astros would stand pat. I was as well. Arrighetti under team control till 2030. I don't hate the trade. Yeah, no, it's really good, I think, in my opinion. Varsho's a really useful piece, but Arrighetti every bit, I think so. Ruben, how's it going, my friend? Let's get some hitters. Absolutely. If you missed it, we did pick up Taylor Ward this morning from the Baltimore Orioles for 3 minor league arms. And he's going to be the main right-handed hitting acquisition, I think, at the deadline, unless the Mariners do something none of us are seeing right now with an hour and 22 minutes to go till the deadline. But you've also got, the relief pitching, which you've acquired Sir Anthony Dominguez so far. You got Nolan Jones throwing in there some more hitting, like minor league hitting depth, basically. Then you've got the Boston Smith catcher as well. Jack, I know you were interested in Boston Smith quite a bit. So when you get back, I'll let you talk about Boston Smith for a minute. I know led D1 in homers 1 year at Wright State. He's a power hitting catcher, athletic enough to play other positions. But yeah, I want to give you the chance to kind of talk about him. I also think he's like a pretty stocky guy. I don't think he's like the tallest, but I think he's
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think Boston Smith, I've been really high on Boston Smith. He hasn't gotten past Double-A yet, but I think that he's getting pretty close. I think the Mariners' plan is to convert him to an outfielder. That's just,
I would say so too.
From what I've seen, I know he's been a catcher like all of his amateur, his college career. He's been a catcher. They want to move him to be an outfielder. I think that's just going to be what they're going to get the most out of him that way. And you never know. I think he's got a lot of upside to him. I think he's really going to get tested when he gets to AAA. Probably next year he'll go to AAA if he's good enough. But I think it's a very underrated move. This guy can hit. This guy's got really good potential. This guy can hit. This guy can help your team in many different ways.
Breaking news, by the way. John Heyman, Padres trying on Trevor Larnach as well as Burleson and Nootbaar want lefty hitter, uncertain how available Larnach is. And Jack, I've got a game that we're going to play, I think. This is a fun little thing. How about every time we have breaking news, I'll say the breaking news, I'll pull it up on the screen. We'll all look at it. Maybe we'll read the names, and then we'll take a sip of water just to make sure we stay hydrated.
Absolutely,
obviously, a stressful time. Do you got your water next to you?
I got my.
Yeah, get your water.
Yeah.
Everybody stay hydrated. In the chat, make sure. That's one of the, little things we do. Every time, I've been talking for 30 minutes, just rambling.
I do have my cold brew right here because the stove is a little cool. I got a little cold brew because it hasn't heated up quite yet, but it's going to heat up really soon. So right now, I got the cool drink for the coldness of the stove right now, but once we get the big move, then it's going to be really boiling, cooking.
That is hilarious. That is perfect. Good one. Anyway, hydration break. Now,
one more note on Dalton Varsho. He is an unrestricted free agent next year, so it's a rental for the Astros at least.
So it's like 1 year of Varsho for.
It's 2 months of Varsho. Yeah.
This year he's a free agent in the winter.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. So it's 2 months of Varsho for 4 years and 2 months of Eric Eddy.
Yeah.
I'm grading that trade really high for the Blue Jays, honestly. Blue Jay M237. I wonder if the Astros will be looking to acquire starting pitching. Now, hopefully not. Haha. Let's go look at their kind of depth. Also, the Blue Jays, if we go look in the minors for them, I know they have so much depth at the big league level, but I want to go look at is like Double-A.
Dalton Varsho is also a Boris guy, so it's going to be really hard for the Astros to re-sign him, even if they want to, because it's a Boris guy.
Yeah. So Blue Jays, Ricky Tiedemann. I remember him being a big thing, but I don't know whatever happened to him. I guess he's their fourth-ranked prospect still. Jake Bloss, CJ Van Eyck, Lazaro Estrada. I don't know any of them other than Ricky Tiedemann. It was a big-time breaking ball prospect last year or something, and then I don't know what happened there. You've got Double-A, nobody in particular that we know. Let's go over to Houston and look at their pitching depth after getting rid of Arrighetti. Ricky has so many injury problems over the years. Hopefully he'll get healthy. Exactly. One of those guys, you don't know what's going to happen there, but pray for good health everywhere around the league, obviously. So, they have Amai. I think the Astros did make some really shrewd moves in the winter that allowed them to do this and to go get Dalton Varsho to improve their lineup. Because look at this right here, Jack. Roster Resource already has Dalton Varsho slotting in 7th in their lineup. That's not bad. A lineup that can have Dalton Varsho 7th. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Jeremy Pena has been amazing this year when he hasn't been injured. Jordan is going to win MVP. Isaac Paredes fits their team and their ballpark really well. Walker is, a veteran presence, hitting cleanup for them still. Diaz, we know, can be when he gets hot. When he's on, he can be a top 10 catcher. Altuve, future Hall of Famer. Varsho, that's like a World Series level player. You know what I mean? Did it with the Diamondbacks and the Blue Jays. Then Cam Smith, a good prospect who was looking like a breakout earlier in the year. Lamont Wade Jr., they got like one platoon at the bottom. Vasquez is the depth behind Diaz catching wise. Another guy who's been good in the big leagues. Nick Allen, a guy who, other organizations value. Traded Mauricio Dubon for Zach DeZenzo. I love Team Italy from the World Baseball Classic, and they've got Zach DeZenzo, who I really like. I don't think he's not like necessarily a starter level guy right now, but 26 years old, pretty interesting platoon guy. Lucas Spence Taylor, and then obviously our buddy Taylor Trammell from the Mariners days, still only 28, almost 29. But then you look at the starting pitching depth, right? Hunter Brown, Ronel Blanco, Peter Lambert has had a good year. Christian Javier, you never really hear about him these days. Obviously not what he once was after so many injuries. Hayden Wesneski also has been injured, but then they have Tetsuya Imai in the bullpen, right? They also have at the minor league level, or injured, they have Mike Burrows and Brandon Walter. And then at the minor league level, they've got
I got one thing that just came in. Marlins will not trade Kyle Stowers.
All right. Marlins are not trading Kyle Stowers. We've got Marlins will not trade Kyle Stowers.
Also, I did want to ask you, one team that obviously was the first trade that Mariners made a deal with is the White Sox, right? They traded Castillo for those 3 players. The White Sox have made some kind of somewhat under the radar moves that I think might help them. So they traded for Huascar Brazoban as well as Brenton Doyle. And
yeah, we haven't talked about Doyle, the White Sox at all. Let's go look at that.
I think Doyle fits that team so well.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
He kind of, let's see. Doyle is not through on here. Oh, no, he is. And they put him on the bench. Wow. Brenton Doyle off the bench. That's talent for the White Sox. Like, you look at this team now, this looks so much more talented than it did a year ago. Just let's read out this lineup, Jack.
Yeah.
Leading off, Sam Antonacci, Munutaka Murakami, Miguel Vargas, All-Star Game MVP, Colson Montgomery, 23 homers, Andrew Benintendi, who might get moved out for Brenton Doyle at some point, Braden Montgomery, a really athletic switch hitter, Tristan Peters, who's been awesome and was an all-star this year, Chase Mydroth almost was an all-star at second base, has had a really awesome stretches. Look at those ranks, by the way, the overall rankings on the lineup. 131, 91, 9, 92, 132. Like, this is a really good team. And then Drew Robo catching with Edgar Caro kind of platooning, 2 switch hitting catchers. That's a trend in the MLB these days, obviously. Luis Angel Acuna, Randall Grichuk, Brenton Doyle, Everson Pereira. You've just got a lot of talent.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's clear that this is the best White Sox team that I've seen in a long time. And any chance the White Sox have a chance to get into the playoff position, get into the playoff race, they're going to go in.
They have to.
They have to.
But the other thing is that they're so set up for the future now because these guys aren't old.
Yeah.
Look at the ages.
Exactly.
23, 26, 26. That's, Montgomery 24. Benintendi doesn't really matter, obviously. 23, 26, 25, 24. You look at how young these guys are. 23, 24, 135-year-old, 28, 25. Like, they're super young. Then you look at their pitching, which I've been so impressed with their pitching too. Davis Martin starts the year off awesome. But then Sean Burke, as of late, has been like a top 30 starting pitcher. He's nearing ace territory, which I never thought I would say those words, but Sean Burke. That's just where he's at. And this is all after, Jack, do you remember who their one all-star was last year, the White Sox?
It was Shane Smith, right?
Who's not even in this picture.
No.
He's not even in this picture. And that was their only all-star. Now you look at them, they had tons of all-stars. Their rotation, got Davis Martin, Sean Burke, Luis Castillo slots in the third spot in their rotation, which does show you just how loaded the Mariners rotation still is with talent. It's more that those guys need to perform, but the talent's there. Luis Castillo has the third spot in their rotation. That's kind of their playoff starters, isn't it, Jack?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is Martin, Burke, Castillo, and then Schultz and Kay out of the pen. Noah Schultz, Anthony Kay. I want to ask you about, how do you think this stacks up against the Mariners rotation in the playoffs? Do you think Noah Schultz and Anthony Kay will be good out of the pen? Can you imagine the Mariners facing off against the White Sox? I've been thinking about this a lot the last 24 to 48 hours. Mariners White Sox face off. Luis Castillo gets a chance for a revenge game.
Yeah, I think that I honestly, the only way that we would probably get the White Sox in the playoffs is the wild card round. I don't think that at this point, I don't think the White Sox will win the division with Cleveland. I think Cleveland is going to make a run, and I think Cleveland's ultimately going to win that division, but
I think it's a toss-up, but yeah.
It could be a total toss-up. I think that
with the way that Gavin Williams is pitching right now, it does look like, the Guardians are hot. The Twins are, fighting with them. They're not out of it yet. The Tigers are, officially kind of hanging it up and starting to think about next year. I mean, Max Clark did come up, and he's been balling out though, so shout out Max Clark. But yeah. White Sox look really good, and then they have a lot of prospects too. They have Prelander Baroa on the IL. Did you know that? I did not. Tyler Gilbert, who threw a no-hitter for the Arizona Diamondbacks in his major league debut a couple years ago. Jordan Leisure, Mike Basil, Kyle Teal. Obviously, they haven't even had him this year, and Austin Hayes they haven't even had this year. So, are those guys coming back? Are these guys coming back, by the way? Jack, do you know Kyle Teal and Austin Hayes?
I'm just looking at those injuries, right? April dislocate, probably. Kyle Teal, sprained ankle, probably coming back. Strained calf, Austin Hayes.
Wait.
Yeah.
Kyle Teal got re-injured. He had the WBC injury that kept him out most of the year.
Right. So he's probably not coming back.
Then Austin Hayes, it was May 1st, kind of right before the Mariners played them. So I don't know if he's coming back. Strained calf, kind of finicky. You don't know if those guys are coming back.
Yeah.
But yeah, their minor league depth is great too.
Okay, just saw another tweet. Sorry, saw another tweet. It looks like the Astros are still trying to add another arm.
Oh boy. Wait, sorry, say that again, Jack.
Underdog MLB, according to their Astros are still trying to add another pitcher.
Okay.
Nothing significant in a while. Man.
All right. Jack, give me some thoughts on some of this stuff. We're looking at like the White Sox minor league. So let's pull it back over to the Mariners. Let's just look at because if we're going to make a move, it's going to be somebody in this list that gets traded. let's look at the Mariners and look at who would the Mariners be, trading.
I think if they haven't traded Kirby and or Hancock by now, maybe something gets done in the next 90 minutes, but I don't think they're going to be trading either Kirby or Hancock at this point. You could make a smaller move for a bullpen arm, which I think probably will heat up. Usually those smaller bullpen pieces usually heat up in the last hour, half hour of the deadline. So I think you need at this point one more solid bullpen arm to go with Sir Anthony Dominguez. You just need to get one more. And maybe another bat. I don't know.
Yeah, another bat. Oh, yeah. So Angels just acquired Namala, who will be the Angels' future shortstop. That's a good point. The Angels are rebuilding pretty hard. I mean, they just got Ballesteros and Namala, in the last, since we've been on the stream. So let's go look at this. The Cubs one's not in here, but you look at their lineup. And Blue Jay said, "What are you?" So batting lineup for Astros looks good, but they lacked pitching depth, starting rotation, bullpen. Agree. I would say that their depth is not that bad, though. They have a lot of names, and they'll get something out of them in the next couple of years. But I could see them wanting to add too, like we said here. What are your guys' thoughts on Zach Neto to the M's? He's allegedly on the trading block. Zach Neto, I know the Red Sox kind of want him. The Angels are clearly like going forward on a rebuild, which I'll actually applaud them for, which we almost never do. It is worth noting Jerry has never traded with the Angels since he left them. Was their GM before becoming the Mariners GM. There could be bad blood and unwillingness to trade there. Wait, oh my gosh, Jack. Okay, go through this with me. Ready?
Yeah.
9 people in the lineup, 3 people on the bench, 3 people in the starting rotation, and the bullpen, there's 7. So this roster on it only has 22 players. They've traded like 4 players from their roster today. The Angels are clearing house a little bit. Trout, obviously, would be a good one to move. Vaughn Grissom, somebody in my comments said they'd like to see the Mariners get Vaughn Grissom, I think was the Ore King. Full rebuild mode. Yes, that's right. And good props to them because very few teams are willing to do a full rebuild right now, but the Angels absolutely need to. So, Neto, I could see, if they were going to really do it, you might as well. You're not competing right now. Neto only has, how many years does he have left? He actually has a couple because he's only had 2 and change years of service time. He has, all these options. And then Trout,
Zach Neto's under control till 2030.
That's such a hard player to move because he's worth so much. The Mariners would have to give up like Falneen.
He's worth so much, but he's also got arbitration the next 3 years.
That's fine. Arbitration is still club control and still the teams control it at least enough where, you're spending a little bit. But for a player of Neto's caliber, if the Mariners got Neto, let's go back to, I want to side by side it with the Mariners, lineup. Just look at Neto in this lineup and then think about this.
Where would he play is the question.
Well, we've got Weston Wilson as their starting third baseman right now.
Well, that's going to change when
goes there.
Donovan comes back tomorrow.
That's actually true. We got to remember that. Where does Donovan slot in the lineup?
Donovan's probably going to be at this point with the way Cole Young's been swinging the bat and Canzone's been swinging the bat, you could probably slot him into either I'd say probably actually, that's a good question of where you'd put. At this point with Ward also, I think you probably put Donovan as your 9-hitter.
Wow. And if he gets hot right away, then you just move him up. I think with how good Cole Young has been, you got to keep him at the top of the lineup. Yeah, Blue Jay says slot Emerson to the bench. You can't really do that. And I talked about this when he came up. You kind of just have to play the guy every day, no matter what, to make sure that you're doing justice by him. You see the 0 service time. You have Colt Emerson under control till 2032. Is it right? 2033.
Yeah, since that extension, yeah.
And especially after the extension, it's like 2034. You basically have to invest in him now the same way you did in Cole Young last year. And I know last year you moved Cole Young to the bench. You actually even brought him down to the minors at one point, right? After Jorge Polanco heated up and kind of ran with that job through the end of the year. But when you, I love Emerson, but he's not a very good hitter. He is a good hitter. He's been struggling with the high fastballs and stuff. But again, if you get Neto, then the calculus changes. Let me ask you this, Jack.
Yeah.
If the Angels said we want Colt Emerson? How hard would Jerry laugh and hang up the phone?
He would hang it up right away. That's not happening.
Which shows you, I know nobody wants to hear about this on today, right? We want to go 1-0 at the trade deadline, but with Colt Emerson, right, you're thinking about the 2030s, and that's basically the whole thing. Zach Neto right now might move the needle in the AL legitimately.
Well, not even the 2030s, like even next year, the year after, right? You're going into the offseason as a major league shortstop. That's going to change your mindset. Like,
dude, Colt Emerson looks like really scrawny right now, like because he's so young. Like he is going to put on so much muscle between now and the end of like the beginning of next season. The same way Cole Young did. He just had to put on that muscle. Emerson is still developing that way. He's so young. Like, he's just turned 21 last week. So, and that also says, right, this whole Mariners team, is not that old. You look at it, Randy is over 30, Taylor Ward's over 30. Taylor Ward's actually the oldest hitter, like in this projected starting lineup now. Garver's older, Refsnyder's older. Rayleigh's on the IL, but he's actually younger. Isn't that crazy? Luke Rayleigh's younger than Taylor Ward.
That's crazy.
It doesn't sound like it would be the case. Donovan's way younger than Ward by a couple years, like 3 years younger. JP's younger than Taylor Ward. So Taylor Ward becomes all of a sudden the third most veteran hitter in this team, in this team's fold. And I know I was on Mariners Mojo stream today. Shout out to them. They're doing the all day stream as well. They were talking about, they think this is the Rob Refsnyder replacement, but obviously Fairchild's going to leave this roster first.
Yeah.
But a lot of people thinking that Refsnyder or Robles are gone. Jack, what do you think? I think a lot of people know that I'm a pretty big supporter of riding with Refsnyder and Robles. I do think both of them are kind of rebounding, showing signs of running into form at the right time. What are your opinions on those guys, and how do you see them and their role with this team down the stretch in 2026?
Well, I think
after
that
the acquisition of Taylor
I
Ward.
think that after this acquisition, it's very, very clear that there's some leeway in how they decide to build your lineup, primarily with DH and right field right now against lefties, because you could do a combination of Robles in right, Ward DH. You could put Ward in right. You could DH Refsnyder. You could do a whole bunch of stuff. You got all of this depth that you have in the outfield now. And not only that, if you remember, and I'm just going to put this out here, right? It's not, I don't think it may not happen at any point, right? But Taylor Ward, when he first came up, he was a catcher. He was a catcher when he first came up. And if, God forbid, anything happens to Cal Raleigh again, God forbid anything happens to Mitch Garver again, Taylor Ward can absolutely, in a pinch, go in and catch.
Yeah, he hasn't done it in a minute, but
he hasn't. But he has major league catching experience, and I'm not
one
saying
time
that's going to happen, but
he did it one time for the Angels. Excuse me.
He came up as a catcher, though. He came up like in the minors as a catcher.
I don't think they want him to do it because it is tough, and at 32, his knees probably, you'd probably use Johnny Pareda before that.
Probably. But I'm just saying, like in a pinch, like in the middle of the game.
In the middle of the game, yeah. If where they have Garver and Cal in the lineup and that type of thing.
Yeah.
Back over to the Angels. So who is now going to be in the rotation? Their ace is now Walbert Urania.
Well, I saw this whole You probably saw this whole like thing, I guess, that like I guess the Cubs might have had a deal for Detmers, but like it turned out to be all wrong or something like that. Because I kept seeing like a whole
Wait, say
bunch
that
of
again.
sources. I kept seeing like a whole bunch of sources that the Cubs traded for Detmers, but it turned out to not be true.
I did see that too. It ended up that there is not, like they had to report, there is not a deal for Reed
Yeah.
Detmers to the Cubs. Nolan Hoffman, righty reliever, goes from Phillies to Royals. I'm gonna hydrate for a sec. Okay, so the Royals are acquiring a reliever from the Phillies. Who knows why?
Is this like part of a
Part of
trade that
something
happened
else? Yeah.
earlier, or
No, this just happened. 140.
this just happened?
But this is kind of weird, right? So it's like, yeah, I'm kind of like, is this part of something else? You know?
Because I don't think the Phillies and Royals have made a trade other than that one, I guess. But
so. Oh, okay. Hey, Holmes and Taylor to Cubs from Mets for Rojas pending medicals. There's a whole lot here. What do we think? This is breaking right off the presses. Holmes and Taylor to Cubs from Mets. So now we jump over to the Mets.
the Cubs are making moves. Cubs have been making moves. Yeah.
Okay, Phillies got a rise. We know that.
Yeah.
What is going on?
If Clay Holmes can help the Cubs, so be it.
The Adobe, yeah, Clay Holmes, the Adobe. He's on the 60-day IL, fractured leg, fibula. So that they get Clay Holmes, but he's on the IL. I don't know if he's actually coming back or what.
He's not coming. If it's a broken leg, he's not coming back.
Yeah, fractured leg, fibula. That doesn't sound like
they should just they're probably just shut him down.
That's an interesting arm for like the Cubs to get for Wrigley. Yeah. Considering they have like a very specific ballpark, weird environment in Wrigley. And then Taylor, which Taylor are they talking about? From the Tyrone Taylor? He was with the Royals, or he was with the Brewers at one point.
Well, this is the Mets. This is the Mets, so
right, but he's been around. Yeah. So.
Oh.
Yeah, Milwaukee, New York. Okay.
One thing I actually forgot to ask you about. With the rise going to the Phillies, they're planning on putting Bryce Harper back in the outfield. What do you think about that?
Ooh, I think it's interesting. I think Phillies leaning into their big bopper mentality, and I support them in doing it. If anybody's going to out-homer teams, out-homer the Dodgers, Phillies they're trying to build for the playoffs and trying to give themselves a chance against the Dodgers. Get the best lineup possible. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Arise getting on base, Harper batting it. I mean, Schwarber, obviously, everybody, Brendan Marsh. Yeah, they're loading up on just hitting in power. So Tyrone Taylor. Then we're going over to the Royals here, and we've only got an hour and 12 minutes left till the deadline. It feels like it's kind of going slow but quick, right?
Ooh. Okay.
Ooh.
Joel Sherman 12 minutes ago. So the Mets are taking on the final or $2 million of Weaver's contract this year and $6 million next year.
Okay.
That's pocket money for the Mets. They're like, okay.
Yeah, they don't care.
They don't care.
They don't really care
That's
about that.
Pocket money for the Mets.
The Mets also acquiring former Mariner Josh Rojas from the Royals. With I guess Tyrone Taylor will slot in on the major league roster for the Royals. And then Clay Holmes, be on the Royals. Rojas. No, not looking at the Royals. Wait, we're looking at Mets. Rojas. Which Rojas am I forgetting? Mixing up all my stuff. Oh no, it is the Cubs Rojas.
Yeah.
When you stream for an hour and a half, yeah, you start to lose it a little bit. It's always a point that it gets to. Jefferson Rojas, Yanner Rojas. Their top prospect? I guess the Mets Cubs don't have. He's ahead of Josiah Hartshorn, ahead of Jefferson. Wow. Jack, I'm going to let you take the stream for a second, talk to the people a little bit, and I'm going to run to the bathroom, and then when I get back, I will talk to you. I know you're going to be dipping out of here pretty soon, but yeah, I'll be back with you in just a minute, and you get run the stream for a sec.
You got it.
All right.
Yep. While Dom is away, this is it's been quite the trade deadline. It's I don't think anything else is going to happen on the Mariner front. Maybe, of course, Dom might have some different thoughts on that, but hour and 10 minutes. Yeah, this is crazy. I'm just keeping an eye on here. Okay, yeah. Jefferson Rojas is who it was. Yes. Clay Holmes and Tyrone Taylor for Jefferson Rojas. So that is that. We've had some interesting ones earlier. Rays getting Liam Hicks earlier in the day. I think that's a great move for the Rays. Anything else? Oh, okay. One that just came in. Man, and the Orioles sale continues. Tyler Wells is going to the Tampa Bay Rays. Okay. That's interesting. You think about the Rays, they're not the highest in payroll, but oh man, this is I'm going to be completely honest with all y'all. I did not think the Orioles were going to be selling this hard, even though I'm just, looking back here. Yeah, the Orioles are 2.5 games out of the wild card. The Mariners are 2. Did I expect the Orioles to sell this hard? Maybe not, but that is interesting. They have the same record as the Tigers. I haven't seen the Tigers other than Scooble do anything else quite yet. Yeah, I mean, nuts. Yeah, I think, honestly, since the Orioles moved their fences out further, they haven't been the best product on the field. So that may have something to do with it, but just checking tweets here, see if anything else comes out. And nope, nothing so far. Ooh, Dom is going to love that Tyler Wells news when he gets back. We're entering the final hour of the trade deadline in about 7 minutes. I think this is where we're going to get the final course of action. I think there's going to be a lot of bullpen moves made in this last hour. I think that there's going to be and here we go, another one. The White Sox they got another catcher. Oh, speaking of the White Sox, we were just talking about the White Sox. They are getting Joey Bart from the Braves. Another move coming out. Wow, Joey Bart. So that's 3 catchers that the White Sox have now. I have to see who the return is for the White Sox, who the Braves are going to get, but Joey Bart, another. I don't know if that's you call that under the. Okay, so a couple of things have happened since you've been gone.
I was hearing you. Yeah, I had you in the ear the whole time. So
okay.
I hear you, Tyler Wells. What's the return for Tyler Wells?
I have not seen that yet. By the way, I was just talking about Joey Bart. So we were just talking about the White Sox, right?
Yeah. So first of all, what I wanted to say is great job running the stream, running point on it. Well, I've been gone. You're one of the only you and Don have done that. Everybody go subscribe to Jack's channel. I'm going to go ahead and throw his link in the description. Jack is going to be kind of making some more videos soon. So I'm going to get your channel in the description. Yeah, Jack, what types of videos are you kind of, what can people kind of expect when they subscribe to your channel?
It's kind of a mixed bag, you know. I just tend to put everything on there. I'm not like I wouldn't say I'm like a dedicated content creator. Wouldn't be like a dedicated Mariners or baseball content creator, but it's kind of a mixed bag. So it's kind of, you get to see a mix of everything on there.
Absolutely. So yeah, he was on the 1-0 podcast, by the way, about 13 days ago. We had a very great conversation about the Palace of the Fans. We did. Yeah, it's at Jack Adicott 3544 youtube.com/. 6 subscribers. Let's see what we can get. You got your Com Theory project. Yeah, I'm gonna help Jack fix up his channel. So right now you got to go sub because we're gonna have him private a couple things, but we got like Jack and Dom's Star Wars Day Sporkle special. If you want to see the OG stuff, we might be private in it. We might, you never know. So if you want to go see it, you'd better go watch it before. There's some bangers on there. If you're a Seattle area person, you know anything about like North Seattle, our community, anything like that, especially. But yeah, I've got Jack's channel in the description as of right now. So you guys will go ahead and see that. And want to catch up on some of these chats as well before we get to the O's and Wells, because I have a couple things to say on that and ask you about. Blue Jays getting calls on newly acquired Soriano. Well, that would be funny if they traded him. That is funny. If they you never see guys get moved crazy quick like that, right, Jack? Like swapped and then swapped again.
And you probably heard me earlier. I am really, really surprised that the Orioles are selling this hard.
I heard you saying that, yeah, and I like you were bringing in the standings. What I would say is that just paints the picture for you of where teams are kind of going. So, I mean, look at Dylan Beavers, Pete Alonso, Gunnar Henderson. You still have some really big boppers: Tyler O'Neill, Jackson Holiday, Lodi Tavares, Kobe Mayo, Kaiser Narvaez. Their bench, they've got 3 guys on their bench. They've got just a different look overall. Basayo is on the IL, so that actually helps it make sense, right? Him and Jordan Westbrook and Blaze Alexander. They had, what's his name? Jeremiah Jackson.
Yeah.
Who's doing well. Where is he now? That's a question I'd like to answer. Oh, by the way, Kyson Witherspoon, one of the big pieces in this prospect from Boston, 15th overall pick in 2025. Their 14th ranked prospect this year. But when he was drafted, I remember seeing there was something with him. So I think this is the case of one pitching lab might like him a little better than the other one. You got a 60 grade curveball, 55 grade cutter, I guess. So, some interesting stuff.
So Jeremiah Jackson has been. Actually, where is Jeremiah Jackson right now? It seems like is he injured?
I'm gonna figure.
No,
this out.
no, he's in AAA.
Yeah,
he's in AAA
So-
Norfolk right now.
he was all super hot, at the beginning of the year, and now he's down in the minors. They're just not where they thought they were going to be at certain points of the season or certain points of the off season. Still have Pete Alonso, still have I think a couple years to compete with him. So I think they're kind of just pushing 1 year down the line. And here's the biggest thing for Baltimore today that I actually like, that I wouldn't feel bad for O's fans, is the savvier the O's fans are, the more they're going to realize they look at this lineup. Let me show you. You look at this lineup right now, right? Baltimore has had the problem of having Kobe Mayo and having Heston Kjerstad and having Colton Cowser and all the Jackson Holiday and having all these guys who are like pretty good but not fully breaking out.
Okay.
Got anything?
So, I don't know how accurate this is. Joel Sherman. Teams calling Blue Jays they're asking about Jose Soriano already.
So that's what Blue Jay just put in the chat. Blue Jay 237.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you don't see guys get swapped like that, and then swapped again. But yeah, Philly's acquiring a rise, a little bit underrated. I want to look at their lineup on the stream at some point here.
And I did just see that Don Mattingly is not planning on moving Trey Turner to the outfield as a result of that.
Got it. Let's go look at that right now.
Before we do that, I need to ask you about the Joey Bart move that just happened.
Oh, and the Liam Hicks. So I didn't fully give you a reaction to Liam Hicks earlier. That's a great move for the Rays. We're gonna look at the Rays, and then you were gonna ask me about Bart, and Bart went to White Sox, another catcher. We're just looking at them. Again, they're super young. They don't need a catcher. They must have not given up very much. And if their models like him, if their scouts or their coaches see something they can work with, as long as they didn't give up anything of value, right, or of too notable value, because the dude, kind of feels like a lottery ticket, right? He was a former top prospect. Joey Bart, right? Yep. He's not on here, by the way.
No. I don't think.
But it does. They did, trading Boston Smith. I guess they're getting more catcher depth than just.
They got to get depth in the organization, yeah.
ESPN is publishing, right? Are Red Sox a threat to win it all with Rutschman? Just because we got to get used to the feel of it, I want us to go take a look at. I want to go take a look at this. All right, Jack. One more look at this. Taylor Ward in the Mariners lineup. How does it feel seeing that?
I think that feels great, especially when you have if you're facing a lefty, that's a really good lineup. And then you throw in Donovan in the mix. That's a well-rounded lineup. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, it does. You've got under an hour till the trade deadline, like you said. So, get used to how this feels. Let's also get used to how the bullpen feels looking at it in roster resource. So, okay, it feels deep. Looking at it, it feels deep to me. I'd like your thoughts on how you see this pitching staff just feeling just by looking at it.
I think they need one more bullpen piece.
You could use one.
I wouldn't. Realistically, if you replace Josh Simpson with any other bullpen upgrade, I think that's great. Ideally, a leverage. I think at this point, if Morejon is still available,
You
I don't
just can't
know.
bet on getting anything out of Brash, Criswell, or Vargas the rest of the year. You just don't know where all
Yeah,
these strained lats and shoulders are at. And then
right.
you also look at, I mean, yeah, Cade Anderson, coming up, depending on if one of these guys, or does Cade Anderson and Ryan Sloan come up and pitch in the bullpen, or just Cade,
I think
comes out and
Cade will for
replaces
sure. I think
Josh.
Cade will
I
for
mean,
sure.
Josh for Cade, that's a lefty for lefty swap. Let us know in the chat how you
Yeah.
feel about that, because that is a possibility. Just looking at it right now with where we're at right this second. It's a live roster. Things are happening. Pieces getting subtracted, added. And Ruben said, Ems need you two in the situation room. Appreciate you, my boy Ruben. Congrats on getting married this fall. Can't wait for that. Hopefully it's right after the Mariners win their first ever World Series. But shout out my buddy Ruben. And we've got Sir Anthony Dominguez, I'm a fan of. Taylor Ward, I'm a fan of. So far, those are the big acquisitions to the major league roster. Organizationally, I mean, you get Brendan Donovan back. You're going to be minusing Stuart Fairchild, and Leo Rivas probably goes down too tomorrow. All told, I would like. And Blue Jays got with the Padres acquiring Robbie Ray. I'm not sure if they'd trade Mason Miller or Morejon. And I agree for the simple fact that the Padres wanted controllable starting pitching. They might feel like that need is covered. I'm going to go look at them real quick. So, looking at the Padres and their pitching depth right now, they got Robbie Ray, only 3 people in the starting rotation because I guess they've traded around a little bit. I know they've got both Musgrove and Pivetta both doing rehab pretty soon. I don't know if they think they're going to get anything out of him or not. I think Lucas Giolito is done for the season. But the Padres, looking at their kind of arm depth, right? They're building a decent rotation. They don't have a true ace. I agree. Like, if they don't think that they need more starting pitching depth, they can figure that out. I mean, they have 3 guys here that can start. I would bet on Griffin Canning being a starter for them if they need it. Who they signed right before they played the Mariners in the first game of spring training this year. JP Sears, who they acquired in the Mason Miller deal, and Randy Vasquez, who's been a strikeout guy. They pretty much have Randy Vasquez plus these 4 in the rotation right now. It's Sears and Canning is depth. So if they think, I mean, Hancock definitely is an upgrade over, some of that, but and Kirby is a massive upgrade and would be their ace. It would be a big, big deal. Jack is going to be dipping out of here soon. So before that, going to get Jack, are you dipping out of here soon?
I'm still here. I just got to do some things to the side, but I can hear you. So I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'm still here. But I just got to do some things real quick.
Go for it. Yeah. So what we'll have you do is, as you do some things, you can hear me, and then I'll let you come and kind of give your closing thoughts or whatever when before you dip out. We'll be finishing out the trade deadline. We've got 53 minutes left right now, exactly. Right now. So yeah, that was the 53-minute mark till the trade deadline. Padres, in that type of spot. Not sure if they trade Mason Miller or Morejon. They're not competing this year, clearly. They know the Dodgers are doing their thing. And the NL West has kind of just said, look, we're going to sit this one out. Somebody else will be in the Dodgers Invitational, in the World Series, and in the NL playoffs. So, it'll be fun to watch. If the Dodgers do dominate, it's the best team ever. And, it's where the sport has gone. It'll be interesting to watch, what happens both then and after that. Then if anybody, makes it challenging, makes it competitive with the Dodgers, as the Blue Jays did in the World Series last year, that was one of the better World Series ever. So hopefully we're in for a treat either way. And Mason Miller and Morejon, I can still see the phones being worked. Hancock for Morejon, I don't know. I don't know if I would do that, especially with Morejon being, I think, about to hit free agency. I wouldn't trade like 4.5 years of Hancock for 1 year of Morejon or whatever it is. Then I would, obviously, it would have to be Kirby for Mason Miller. And in that scenario, I would not, I would be happy doing it. I'd also be okay not doing it, but it would be so interesting if you did it. If you just did it, man, it would be the biggest deal of the deadline this far. I mean, other than obviously Scooble, but like even, I mean, Mason Miller's up there with Scooble, in terms of who's going to upgrade the team more. Like the Mariners would be the winners of the trade deadline. They would be giving up a guy in George Kirby that I think slots right in. Is going to be the ace for the Padres for about, the next 3 years, if not longer, so 3 years and 2 months of Kirby for about the same, I think, of Mason Miller, maybe 1 year less. But yeah, Mason Miller and George Kirby feels like the only huge domino that could fall for the Mariners. Throughout the MLB, what other huge dominoes could fall? Because we always get something surprising in the last hour. What are we going to get this hour? That's the question. What are we going to get this hour? Jump back over to our ESPN tracker. Are Red Sox a threat to win it all with Rutschman? Read the article on ESPN. Let's do it. It is a video. Are we allowed to watch it? Not sure. Yeah, that's okay. I kind of get the idea of Adley and Fenway. Actually, real quick, I know I'm jumping around on stuff. There's so much going on. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at Adley Rutschman. I want to look at what his stats look like in Camden Yards for his career versus Fenway Park, because I think that's probably the story of him moving to Boston. Let's go splits tool. Man, Monday trade deadline. You got to love it. You got to love it. It feels like this week is the
breaking trade. Fine sand. Red Sox get Eli White from the Braves.
The number 1 pick, Eli White?
Yeah. Like fast Eli White.
For what?
Tyler Uberstein, which I'm guessing is a minor leaguer.
We got to figure this thing out. What is going on?
Yankees. Okay, the stove's cooking. Yankees acquire Elliot Ramos from the Giants.
Okay, the stove is a turn medium high, baby. We're on medium high now.
Oh, man.
All right.
Elliot Ramos to the Yankees. Wow. Okay.
This is not the same Eli White that was like Eli Willits. I was thinking of the Nationals number 1 pick in the draft. Okay, so this is Eli White for the Braves, 32-year-old, and he just got traded where?
My God, I just said it.
Yeah,
Red Sox. Red
Sox getting Eli White for Tyler Uberstein.
Yeah.
I've heard of Tyler Uberstein. I know that I have. Pitcher. He has pitched in the big leagues.
1 game.
And 27 years old. So interesting. Wonder what these organizations see in these. The Braves see in Uberstein, what the Red Sox see in White. White playing for the Red Sox. We just need a player named Red playing for the White Sox, don't we, Jack?
Yeah. Yep.
What's the opposite of red? Blue playing for the Reds. Vita Blue playing for the Reds. Anyway, what are you saying?
This big one that just happened to Elliot Ramos, Yankees.
Let's go ahead and pivot over, because that is one we've been waiting on for a while, especially Mariners sphere. So 12 minutes ago, Yankees working to acquire him.
And it just became official from Jeff Passan.
It just became. So let's see. Does the ESPN tracker, they're going to have it right here for us?
Should,
Not
if
quite.
it's Passan. Yeah.
Not quite on the ESPN tracker. Let's go over to Twitter. Let's see what we can. Okay, so I guess there was still some Mariners people that I'm seeing that did want Elliot Ramos. We don't know what the return for Ramos was like, but it's something the Mariners maybe could have done. Do the Mariners have a need for Ramos and Ward, do you think, Jack?
I mean, I don't think they need both. I think I would have been fine with one or the other.
All right. Yeah, that because I'm like, I guess some people did want want to get Ramos as well, still for the Mariners, but that won't be the case. I was looking more for like what might be coming back. But obviously it's just Twitter, so nothing too crazy. Nick Pollock's got some stuff going on. There's a lot of these places that have stuff going on for the trade deadline. Let's see, what do we need to jump over to right now? Last I heard, the Padres were working on Trevor Larnach. Did you hear that, Jack? Okay, Adam Jude, 1 hour until the trade deadline, and the Mariners are trying to close with more help for their bullpen. No new intel. All we know. Adam Jude did specifically just name drop Jeff Hoffman and Jeremiah Estrada. So Jeremiah Estrada could be a guy the Mariners go out and get. The Padres are kind of they're doing some flipperoos right now. AJ Preller is going crazy at the end, as he always does. So, Jack, what do you think about the Mariners potentially going and getting Jeremiah Estrada instead of Morejon or Mason Miller? And I'll look into a return while you give me just your first kind of feeling on that.
I mean, I think Jeremiah Estrada is great pitcher. Don't get me wrong. Padres have an elite bullpen. They've got great arms back there. I think that when you look at Jeremiah Estrada, I think that he definitely will have that. I mean, even looking at his numbers, look at his, what's his spin rate like? Because I know we've been talking about spin rate a lot.
Excuse me. Goodness gracious. His spin rate, I'm going to go look at his I'll give you this real quick.
Honestly, I could take Jeremiah Estrada as being a good setup man for Munoz until Brash gets back, maybe. He'd be a good setup option. You got Dominguez, you got Jeremiah Estrada, and then Munoz. I think that's a pretty decent, pretty good back end of the bullpen there.
Yeah. He's a switch hitter. So he's athletic, 6'1", 185, 6th-round pick for the Cubs, California. He is underperforming his expected ERA by a little bit, 3.74. His expected ERA and actual ERA is 3.91. Is the XBA 213 for him? That's pretty good. What is the batting average allowed actually like? Kind of the BAA. Okay, the BAA is he's outperforming that. Underperforming his ERA a little bit. Maybe he's giving up some hard contact. Is that right? No, he's elite at not allowing hard contact. He doesn't get as many chase. He walks a lot of guys. Doesn't get many ground balls. But he strikes a lot of guys out, and he doesn't allow hard contact. Weak contact strikeouts, but comes with walks, barrels, and fly balls. What do we think about that type of profile that we just described with Estrada?
Sounds a lot like Sir Anthony Dominguez. I think that
it's true.
I think that, if anything, the pitching lab with the Mariners, they can, I don't know if you want to say tinker with this stuff, but do the Mariners want to take an approach of pitch to contact, get the ground ball, or go for the strikeout? I think that's really what. And
do you want kind of different guys? You want some ground ball guys. You want some fly ball guys in certain scenarios. You want to use them, right?
Do you want to get Do you want to get the shutdown guy like Mason Miller, or do you want to get a pitch to contact guy to make who might give you a little bit more longevity, or do you want to get the shutdown guy? That's the question I have. I see a lot of similarities with Sir Anthony Dominguez with Jeremiah Estrada, though.
And what I would say is that I would want the Mariners to get the best player, obviously, but then it's good to have different roles in the bullpen, right? When you talk about building out a position room, you want guys who fill different roles in some way. Blue Jay says Estrada kind of a mid reliever. Hope M's go for someone that pushes the needle more. I see what you're saying, but when you got a profile like this, this could be kind of the happy medium. You're not going to get anybody crazy. Although I did see Ken Rosenthal just now, Giants close to acquiring Marcelo Mayer from Red Sox for reliever Eric Miller. Both of these good players. Eric Miller, a good reliever for the Giants this year. Marcelo Mayer, a good player with a lot of club control that was a former top pick. What do you think of this, Jack? Big leaguers getting on the block.
Well, I mean,
each other. It's good for the Giants. They need like
the Giants have to retool now after dealing Ramos, right? They dealt a Rise this morning. They dealt Ramos just now. So they got to retool their lineup.
And if they can use a bullpen guy to go and get a, long-term piece in the middle infield, I think that's or third base, I think that's effective for them. That's effective asset management. I actually like that from Buster Posey. Although I haven't, a lot of his moves have backfired this year, admittedly. Eric Miller over here, you see, he's got nasty stuff. The breaking ball is really what helps him. The fastball is pretty good, not anything too special. Off speed looks like 9th percentile. This changeup, there's a reason he throws it just 5% of the time, but it's the slider that is really getting the results for him. The sinker and the four seam. So Eric Miller's monster slider, great xERA. He's outperforming it by quite a bit. Great expected batting averages. This is an interesting player to get for the Red Sox bullpen. They're trying to shut things down in Fenway Park. I mean, let's go look at their roster right now because it's going to be a lot different feeling with Adley in there once we see that. And now that they get Adley, they're willing to. Okay, so Rutschman's not in this Red Sox situation yet. Carlos Narvaez, he is. Okay, so Adley is still on the IL. They still have Tristan Casas on the IL. Haven't heard his name in such a long time. Mayer's on the IL. Immediately acquired is on the IL. Anthony's on the IL. Story, and they're still competing. That says a lot about how well they're playing right now. Got quite a few guys on here, but once Adley comes off the IL, let's say, and if assuming they trade Mayer for Miller, then you would have an Anthony. I don't know if he's out for the season or what. How many of these? They might get Mead back before the end of the season, I've heard, but might not. You've only got under 40 minutes, guys. Under 40 minutes till the trade deadline. MLB 2026 trade deadline. I'm just doing a little bit of research really quick. And the Red Sox minor league system, not too sure about it. Like, I just don't know a whole lot about it, but I know they have some good players in here. It's the Red Sox. They're not going to be like just a terrible organization. Franklin Arias, the rumors that they were going to trade him, they're really going all in for is what they're doing. Yep. Let's go look at some other stuff here. So once the Red Sox get Adley in there, where does he slip in? Anthony Siegler is leading off for them right now. Ceddanne Rafaela, Wilyer Abreu, Wilson Contreras hitting cleanup, having such a good year. Masataka Yoshida contributing. Rafaela, Abreu, and Contreras have had such good years, all three of them. Just absolutely insane. Look at their overall ranking. That's better than any Mariners hitter, I think. But all better than Randy Arozarena in this value system. Caleb Durbin has been ridiculously hot. Andrew Monasterio is starting for them at shortstop. Then Jared Duran and Connor Wong. I mean, imagine if they got Zach Neto and replaced Andrew Monasterio. That's a huge upgrade. Adley Rutschman over Connor Wong is a huge upgrade when he does come back. But they've been starting Connor Wong. Then Jake Rogers ends up going back to them. So when they're healthy, it'll be some combination of Wong and Rogers, like on the bench and in the minors or whatever, behind Adley Rutschman. But Rutschman slots up probably pretty high in that order. Where I don't know where you guys think, maybe fifth, maybe like seventh, behind Durbin even. But down in the order, you have Adley Rutschman. So a couple switch hitters in there too. Nick Sogard. So the Red Sox have the option to start 3 switch hitters now with Adley Rutschman. Got speed off the bench with Eli White and Jahmai Jones. Then Romy Gonzalez as well. Then with their bullpen, I mean, their starting rotation: Sonny Gray, Ranger Suarez, Peyton Tully, Jake Bennett, Patrick Sandoval. Jake Bennett's been such a pleasant surprise as of recent. Then Ranger Suarez obviously has been amazing recently. Peyton Tully's been awesome, and Sonny Gray's been awesome. It's just super solid 3. Then with Jake Bennett, who's come up and made himself into a super solid 4, kind of out of nowhere. Patrick Sandoval sliding in there in the 5th spot right now, but like they've got Bayo in the bullpen, so playoffs, it would be those 3, and they have a good enough 3 to win some playoff series. With Mickey Gaspers in the minors, Sung-Chae Chang, Andrew Kinsner is on the Red Sox in the minors for them. Then, yeah, not too much else to report about down here. Just kind of running through these names because when else are we ever going to do this? So some people are saying, now with just a little under 35 minutes till the deadline, that the Mariners, Jerry and Justin do a solid job, but they might stop a deal short, right? They might not make that deal right now in the last 30 minutes, of making it like a perfect deadline, of like really getting all the depth. And usually what should be the easiest things to acquire, backup roster pieces, is what someone says, tried and subset to them. And they could say like, oh, well, we tried, but, the markets didn't kind of go where we wanted them to go. Those are all valid points. However, yeah, I wouldn't be panicking right now. Like I look at this team, we've been looking at some of these other contenders. Let's go back to the Red Sox just to compare their bullpen too, really quick. On their bullpen, they've got Chapman, Whitlock, Slayton, Miller just slots in there right now. Guerrero, Weissert, man. I mean, they've got quite a few good players in here. Giovanni Moran, Watson, Bayo. Yeah, they're loaded in the bullpen too. Whereas we go over to Seattle. Yeah, you could just use the one more bullpen piece. I'm not panicking if Josh Simpson's in this bullpen, tomorrow, but is Josh Simpson in this bullpen tomorrow? That I guess is the question. Maybe Emser done since Brash, Perez, and Criswell coming back soon. Brash, you mean Vargas and Criswell? Yeah, you got Brash coming back, hopefully, but that's still a little bit up in the air. It's all strained lats and strained shoulders. So yeah, strained lat for Brash and Vargas, and then a strained shoulder for Criswell. I'm not 100% sure. If I had to rank who I think is coming back without too much conviction, just kind of taking a guess based on, just estimating, I would say like Brash the least because he's had 2 injuries this year. Vargas hasn't pitched all year. So those 2 below Criswell for sure. Criswell, he had the shoulder thing, but it seems like he will be able to make it off the 60-day IL. At least from what I can tell. Okay, we got focused on one guy and let the market pass us by. Who can the Mariners get right now? What trades are going to be made? Those are the questions we ask. Are the Mariners focused on one guy? Or are they looking at a whole bunch of guys right now? What do you guys think? $90 minutes to the trade deadline. Mariners trying to close with more help to their bullpen. So the Yankees getting Ramos is interesting because, he's a righty. He's not going to be able to hit the short porches, but he's a good power hitter in Yankee Stadium. The ball is still traveling that thick Bronx air. humidity. So we got all the things I see on Twitter, by the way. Just want to let you know, I'm not necessarily my opinions, right? Obviously, but just want to say that. George Kirby on start yesterday. Jokes and stuff. Okay, whatever. What is going to happen here? See if we can refresh this. Oh, completed deal 4 minutes ago. Boston Red Sox are finalizing the trade to acquire left-handed reliever Eric Miller from the San Francisco Giants for infielder Marcelo Mayer. Sources tell ESPN deal is still in medicals. So Marcelo Mayer goes to the Giants. The Giants get to look towards the future, which they needed to do. So yeah, they get to trade a bullpen piece for a controllable, young, talented infielder. I am all about that. Especially hopefully they like Marcelo Mayer because he, if he was just what was available, even if that's the case, seems like it'll be pretty good. So where's Mayer in here? IL. All right, they already shifted him over to San Francisco's situations. We can just look at them. Appreciate everybody who's spending the final 30 minutes of the trade deadline with me. We are under 30 minutes. It is 2:30, and the second counter is at 12, 13, 14. And the Giants, Daniel Susak is the backup catcher with Drew Kavanaugh as the starter right now. Some new names that you might not have heard of. I haven't heard a whole lot about Grant McCray, Drew Kavanaugh, Christian Koss, Nate Furman, Slavis Basabe. I know him. Obviously, Buddy Kennedy, they got back from the Mariners through waivers just now, like yesterday. Drew Gilbert, who I guess is on the bench for them. I thought he would be starting at this point of the season for them. But then they got, so they're going to be able to build around Bryce Eldridge. Ramos is gone now. Devers is still there. He's going to be on this kind of tanking team. They're going to have to kind of rebuild around Devers quickly. And look at how much he's risen his stats. He has shown the most resurgent version of himself since this whole debacle went down with the Red Sox last year. He looks like he's going to be all right. And I think he'll be a popular sleeper in fantasy drafts this next season in 2027 because he'll be tough to value. If he keeps the hot streak till the end of the year, it's like, oh, well, he shows that he's the person that he was when he was 23, 4, 5, and he's still only 29. I think he probably still has a career year next year in the tank, and maybe the Giants can go for it next year. I know, maybe a little bit more at least, go for it early and sell pieces at the deadline again if you have to get more and more back. But next year is going to be, now it's all geared towards see what we can, see from our guys in 2027. You do have Logan Webb and Landon Roop, obviously not going to get moved, but maybe next year Webb will be over 30. Maybe that's when you see Logan Webb move. Maybe this offseason you see Logan Webb moved as the Giants are looked at as a kind of a rebuilder with a stronger farm system than nothing. That if they just trade Logan Webb and get a package back, trade Roop and get a package back, who's also almost 28, then you could be like, oh, they have a good farm system. They're looking towards the future. 2030, they're going to be, trying to contend or sooner than that. But sometime with Devers, maybe they trade Devers too. They have more doors open than shut right now because they've started to trade guys away. So good for them. Dom, 30 minutes left and I feel nothing. Yeah, Jackson Shore, I hear you. We don't have anything officially since Taylor Ward this morning. I don't know if the Mariners are going to make another trade, but we're looking at San Francisco right now, who just made the latest deal with Boston. King, welcome in. Taylor Ward, not too shabby. Hope we somehow pull off one more bullpen arm somehow. Absolutely right there with you. Taylor Ward, not too shabby. Hopefully one more, but we'll see. So Marcelo Mayer, and I guess they have Matt Chapman too. Who is he? Is he an unrestricted free agent? I don't remember. He strained abdominal. I don't know if he's coming back or what his contract even looks like. But, in Casey Schmidt, obviously, Hayden Birdsong is injured. Tommy John, Trevor McDonald, Tommy John. Jose Budo, arm surgery, blood clot removal. Randy Rodriguez and Tommy John the end of last year. So yeah, next year looks better. Then Joel Pagero has been on the IL, but could be coming back here pretty soon. So yeah, they're definitely like a next year. Let's check in on the Giants rebuild. Excuse me. Even this offseason, let's see. If they want to trade Webb, Roop, maybe a Devers or a Chapman or a. They got rid of Ramos. Does Lee? We'll see. Who ends up staying. Willy Adames obviously could be a trade piece, but they have quite a bit to work with in terms of getting way better than the position they're in right now, asset wise. 234, 18 on the second counter, so counting down. In fact, I'm going to do like a timer on the screen. I don't know if I can. Yeah, let me see if I can do like a timer in StreamYard. I can do quite a few things. Can I like edit a timer? 1 minute timer. I can keep doing like 1 minute timers. I think I can like share something on the screen. Widget. No. Yeah, whatever. Oh, Foster Griffin to the Guardians. Really? That's a big one. Wow. Is ESPN going to get it on the refresh poll? Looks like they just did. Nope. That's not going to be there. Foster Griffin. And Astros discussed him 38 minutes ago. I love that from the Nationals, first impression, because they've done so much with him. If they're willing to offload him, it tells you that they think they're getting the most out of him. Kind of like the Mariners do with Hancock and then offload him. They just got Connolly early. Next year, the Nationals look scary now, especially because the Guardians they have a lot of prospects. They definitely gave up something good for Foster Griffin, if this is true, which I've got to go find right now. Glad the Astros didn't. Yes, I am as well. Although you could be. Yep, that happened. All right. Officially, a few seconds ago, Jeff Passan, Cleveland Guardians acquiring Foster Griffin from the Nats. And the Nats just made this guy look really good and sold him. And what do they get back is the question. But the Astros, Chandler Rome. Astros had extensive conversations about Foster Griffin, but the ask was very high. Ooh, what did the Nats get back? If I'm a Nats fan, I am excited. And look at, here's some whatever account, 310 followers. Looks like AI, might not be whatever, right? What Foster Griffin I thought was going to be the core building block for the Nats. Nope. I mean, he was somebody that they made good, and now they've traded him, and they're doing a good job of asset management right now. So we've got to figure out what's going on. Now, some Astros person is saying after they miss out on Foster Griffin that they should go get Casey Mize. The Tigers, who have already sold Scooble, obviously, could keep, why keep Mize? Abreu and Spence. Brian Abreu, Lucas Spence. All right. Sure. Why not? Maybe. I just want to see what the deal is. So Joe Adell and Foster Griffin to the Guardians. Let's go look at the Guardians roster right now. That's kind of the format we're doing this thing in today. We're going through the rosters. If you're joining us now, welcome. We've got just over 20 minutes, and we finally get a huge all-star trade in the last 25 minutes. I want to ask you guys within just the last couple minutes here, is this the last all-star traded? And I'm going to see, do we get one more big trade before 3 p.m. PST? I'm going to say yes, no. All right. We can start this up. Yeah. Go ahead and vote, guys. Do we get one more big trade before 3 p.m.? Jeff Hoffman to the Twins. Oh, the stove is hot. All right. Jeff Hoffman to the Twins. 1 minute ago. Boom. Yep. There's another all-star. Twins are buying. Twins just bought quite a bit. Yoendrys Gomez, does he stay the closer there after we just saw? I think he kind of does. Or maybe do they do bullpen by committee? This is interesting for Minnesota. Let's go look at Minnesota before we even look at Cleveland, because now Cleveland and Minnesota are going back and forth in the AL Central. So are the White Sox. Look at these three teams. White Sox, Luis Castillo, we're going in this year. We want the Central. And then the Guardians say, Foster Griffin, Joe Adell, we're going in. We want the Central. And now the Twins are saying, hey, Jeff Hoffman, we're going in. We want the Central. Do the Twins have what it takes now? And does Jeff Hoffman slot in as the closer for the Twins? That would be my first question. I could even do like a poll here for that. New poll. Does Jeff Hoffman slot in over Yoendrys Gomez as the Twins closer? This is also great insurance for Louis Varland owners in fantasy. Looks like he'll be closing, but unless, the Blue Jays shut him down before your fantasy season was over, which most of mine are over in August anyway. So probably, maybe even if they shut him down in September, the last week, it's fine. I'm asking yes, no polls. If you have a recommendation for another poll, let me know. So now, do we get one more big trade? It's funny I say that, and we immediately do. Yeah. Only have one poll active at a time. Okay, well, we did get that big one. So now, new poll. Does Jeff Hoffman slide in over Yoendrys Gomez? Oh, I spelled this wrong. And I can't edit it. That's okay, though. But yeah, type 1 for yes in the chat, 2 for no. Let me know, guys. Is Jeff Hoffman this closer over Yoendrys Gomez? Because then you've also got 1, all right, or King. Yeah, you think he does? 1 vote for yes. I think he probably does as well. Wow. Jeff Passan locked in right now. Really just got to keep refreshing him because he is probably going to have whatever it is. Just look at how many views are on his page right now. This is kind of where it's at. Yeah, so, okay, going through the deals. Hoffman, Twins. We just did the poll for that. Jackson Shore also says yes, so 2 votes for yes. That it looks like Hoffman is going to be the closer for the Twins unless they're doing a committee with Yoendrys Gomez. They also got AJ Minter at the deadline here. They have Taylor Rogers. They have a couple other good players. So, yeah, the Twins are trying to make it. You've got Foster Griffin. Let's go look at the Guardians real quick. And I appreciate you guys throwing it in the chat as soon as you see something. You get my live reaction. So Jacob Cozart is what they sent back for Joe Adell, the Guardians. If you look at this lineup now, Steven Kwan, who has been bad this year, but is starting to heat up. Look at that. Jose Ramirez, Chase DeLauder, Travis Bazzana, Kyle Manzardo, Brian Rocchio, Joe Adell, Patrick Bailey, Petey Halpin. Sounds good to me, to be honest. I don't think I need to comment too much. This is a pretty playoff-ready lineup. It's going to be, it's competitive as you need to be. Then a really solid bench too. Austin Hedges, David Fry, Rhys Hoskins, Gabriel Arias, Angel Martinez. All players that I would like to have on my big league roster, pretty much. The rotation is really solid. They just got some really good depth. A guy that's going to slot in and basically be there. Is he their third best pitcher? Where does I almost want to switch the poll up now again and ask you guys, where do you think Foster Griffin's where does Foster Griffin slot into the Guardians rotation right away? And the options, I'm going to say you can go 1, you can go 2, you can go 3, 4, 5, or I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously, All-Stars not starting out 5th in the rotation, but we're going to stop this poll, hide it, and kaboom! Poll is live. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the chat. Love to see what you guys put. Warden Sir Anthony just isn't enough. If nothing happens in the next 20 minutes, I'll be satisfied. I don't completely agree. I'm right now. I guess I'm gonna do like, what would you guys rate the Mariners bullpen in a minute? You think he slots 4th into that rotation, or can you think that Joey Cantillo? You go Messick, obviously, and Williams. I think I would put him 3rd behind those two as well. Although I'm inclined, I would put him probably 3rd behind. And I'd say if I was to reslot the rotation right now for the playoffs, I think Williams starts game 1, Messick starts game 2, Griffin starts game 3. Then I would go Cantillo, and then I think Bybee has to stay in. But I think that's what I would think for this rotation right now. Excited, curious to know what you guys think, and curious to know what the return for both Hoffman and Griffin will be. That's going to be interesting to see. We talked about Mayer and Miller. Ramos, we don't know what the return is either. Joey Bart, barely talked about with the Braves and the White Sox and their stuff. Jack was here. And then we've had and then before that it was Wells, to the Rays. The Rays have acquired quite a few pieces. I wanted to go look at their team page. Let's go look at that right now. So waiting for the next big thing to happen. And here's the Rays lineup right now. Liam Hicks, slotting in as the cleanup hitter. That's a big deal for the AL leaders in the Rays. Caminero and Aranda and Diaz, obviously. I mean, this is solid. Hicks in there, he just slots in real well with Fortes and Fiducia. Like, you just get a better player who's been so good this year. You might as well ride it until the wheels fall off. And the Rays are so good at acquiring guys who have specific roles and putting them in those roles and having them do well in those roles. So if Liam Hicks has, continues his what looks like it's going to be a career year in Tampa Bay, or somehow becomes perennial all-star, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's the Rays. A whole lot of speed in the back half of that lineup. How sweaty is this? Taylor Walls, Richie Palacios, Victor Mesa, Chandler Simpson, Cedric Mullins. Then, a whole lot of righties on the bench. Love our boy Ben Williamson and Ryan Vilade as well. Good players there. The rotation is disgusting with Rasmussen, Jax, Peralta, Seymour, Martinez. Just an outstanding rotation. Plus having Steven Matz in the bullpen, who could be depth there if they need it down the stretch. Tyler Wells slotting in as that relief pitcher. Again, if the Rays acquire a relief pitcher, it doesn't matter who it is, you're pretty interested. I mean, just look what they did with Casey Legumina after the Mariners, after acquiring him from the Mariners in trade. He's got a really interesting spin efficiency that I might want to look at another time, but want to keep our head on a swivel as there's got to be some more deals coming in. Refreshing. Jeff Passan, nothing in the last 10 minutes. 13 minutes ago, Foster Griffin to the Guardians from the Nationals. 10 minutes ago, Jeff Hoffman to the Twins from the Blue Jays. And that is the last we have 10 minutes ago. It is 2:47. Under 13 minutes till the trade deadline is shut and closed. I'm going to be hanging around here for another, 20 minutes after at least, as I'm expecting there'll be some more stuff coming in kind of at the buzzer and right after. Guarantee front office is treating Donovan like he's a deadline acquisition. Kind of is, I guess. Well, great perspective working. I actually agree with you, and that's actually a great perspective to have. Yeah, I'm going to show that up there. Okay, I didn't even know I can show stuff up here, but I agree with this. I think this is a good thing for a good perspective we should all remember. So yeah, I got to put this up here. Let's see. A lot of players, man, that the Rays just have in their system. Jacob Melton, he went to Washington State, go Cougs. Austin Slater's all the way down there. Jake Cave, Justin Henry Malloy, Nick Madrigal, Blake Sable. He's got players, Trey Morgan, LSU guy, I think won the World Series, College World Series. Carson Williams, a big-time prospect. Man. Craig Kimbrell, they just DFA'd. So Rays are where they're at. Clay Holmes, Tyrone Taylor to the Mets, or from the Mets for Jefferson Rojas. The Cubs trade their top prospect for Clay Holmes and Tyrone Taylor. So they got Tyrone Taylor on the bench now there, and Clay Holmes not back yet, but they need that starting pitching depth. They want to take a run at things this year. They think that maybe in a playoff series they can win. Blue Jay, Hoffman of the Twins, dang. Right. Yeah. That's the last thing that we had. Oh, okay. We've got something new, guys. Jeff Passan retweeting Jorge Castillo. Diamondbacks acquiring Lars Nootbaar from the Cardinals. Sources tell me and Alden Gonzalez. So let's go look at that for the Cardinals. And let's just put this up on the screen. Let's take a minute to think about this. The fact that we're 10 minutes and 30 seconds from the deadline. Cheers, everybody. Diamondbacks finally did something that's right. I'm going to take down the Foster Griffin thing. All-Star moved 10, 20 minutes ago, and we're like, that's it, that's it, that's it. Now, Lars Nootbaar, wonder what the Diamondbacks gave up for Nootbaar. The Cardinals selling, they're not going to make the playoffs. They're in a competitive Central. And yeah, they might as well get some kind of rebuild their farm. Chaim Bloom, after being fired with the Red Sox, that just didn't totally work out. Still a highly regarded guy in the industry. So the Cardinals give him another shot to do the same job. And now he's wheeling and dealing. Obviously made the Brendan Donovan trade with the Seattle Mariners. Getting Taipei, getting Jurangelo St. right after Mariners Fan Fest, and shipping off Donovan, shipping off like Steven Matz. They've got that Cardinals type of pitcher now with the Michael McGreevy's and stuff. And interesting to see, Andre Palante. Interesting to see what happens in the next, years with the Cardinals. But the Diamondbacks are the ones who are going to get a lot better. So St. Louis gets rid of Nootbaar, take him out of there. Is Ivan Herrera? Can he move in the next 10 minutes? Heard that he could be available at one point. If the Mariners got Ivan Herrera, I would be stoked. I think it would take quite a bit. I think it would take a really good prospect. But that would be interesting. And we've got Diamondbacks finally did something. I guess that's the real story that we got to look at too. Kyle Leahy, Quinn Matthews just came up, and he's an interesting prospect. One of Matthew Liberatore, obviously one of those guys too. They get a lot of catchers in Herrera, Crooks, Pages, and they had Wilson Contreras too. So they're just bouncing out their system, their organization, make a run at things in a year or two. Obviously, they've got Jordan Walker and J.J. Weatherholt and Alec Burleson and Ivan Herrera. So Nootbaar taken out. Who moves in for them? And they're penning, they're working on it, maybe a year or two away. But there's some pieces. Nolan Gorman's in the minors. Thomas Saggese. Victor Scott they probably call him and his speed up for the rest of the season, I would think. In that, and just plug that in and try to be a scrappy team that plays good fundamental baseball, kind of small ball plus Jordan Walker and Burleson's power output, plus Herrera's in, the back half of the season. Now let's go to the Diamondbacks because that's the interesting part. Forgive me for burying the lead there. Arizona. All right. Going over to Arizona, there's only 7 minutes till the deadline. They've obviously got a pretty good lineup, some big time bats at the top of it. The top two, really, Carol Marte, then Perdomo Moreno, and some other pieces. Ryan Waldschmidt, a young guy, obviously. Everybody else not quite sure what to think of. Rodriguez having an amazing year. So I'm a little bit surprised nobody wanted to trade for Rodriguez, but that also shows you not necessarily the most sustainable thing. He's got the biggest difference between expected ERA and ERA. So he's going to have a crazy good year. And I mean, I guess consider the Diamondbacks, just moved for Lars Nootbaar. Where's Lars Nootbaar slot in? Kepler's in left field, but Del Castillo is the one playing DH. So obviously, I think you move Kepler. You have Kepler and Nootbaar at left field and DH. So then the order is going to look like Carroll, Perdomo, Moreno, Marte, and then it would be probably Carroll, Perdomo, Moreno, Marte, Nootbaar, Arenado, Kepler. Nootbaar also reuniting with Arenado from the St. Louis days. Then Tawa Waldschmidt. Del Castillo moves to the bench, and they probably have Jorge Barosa go back to the minors. Former Mariner Tyler Locklear obviously still on there. The Mariners' big trade partner of the last deadline is a minor buyer this time around. And look at their win division. Obviously, they're not going to beat the Dodgers for the division, but they do have a 44.5% chance to make the playoffs. So we'll see what happens there. And will Mason Miller get moved, guys? We are 5 minutes away from the deadline. This is it. I don't want to clog up everything. I don't want to talk too much, but let's go back over to Jeff Passan. And is that it? Is Lars Nootbaar at the very end? What do you guys think? I'm going to put it up here, right here, for you guys that are with me for the last minutes of the trade deadline. New poll is Lars Nootbaar the end of the trade deadline. The Mariners, I mean, man, everybody wants something for the Mariners. Another arm. Do they do that, or do they stick with the pile and maybe they get some guys through waivers? Or maybe we hear about some stuff later tonight that got done earlier. Or maybe it's between 3 and 4 p.m. that we hear about the Mariners making their final deal of the day, or final deal of the season, I should say. And we've only got 4 minutes, 30 seconds. So now, honestly, I should put a timer on that just counts right down to 3 o'clock. Is Lars Nootbaar the end of the trade deadline? 1 or 2 in the chat. Let me know. This is it, guys. Everything we've been waiting for, it all comes down to this. And okay, guys, I'm going to try to get this timer up here so that you guys can see it as well. So just bear with me for a minute. Not the end of the deadline. Stuff will come in after. Seems Padres not selling. We got 50-50. You got a 2 and we got a 1. All right. I'm trying to sync this clock up. Hold on. Okay. I've got a clock counting down to 3 p.m. that I'm going to share with you guys right now. Hold on. Hold up. Getting it up right now. Here it is, counting us right down to the deadline. And I know, I mean, there's going to be stuff coming out at 3:15, I bet, but this is it, guys. Let's go ahead and I'm going to be refreshing Passan, but showing you guys this timer and I think we can do some StreamYard music. So let's just do that because for some reason it sounds like a thing to do. Train. Here we go. Final third of the season. Final 50 games. That's when you play. Approaching. Whistle. Let's do the heartbeat because here we go. Playing around a little bit. Let me know if you guys have any actual baseball questions. Otherwise, it's the last 2 minutes. We got to just kind of enjoy this. I don't know if this is the proper. All right. Forget all this. Jeff Passan Here we go. We got one last thing, guys. Yankees got Victor Vodnik from the Rockies. Yep. Guardians getting Nathaniel Lowe. All right. We've got 1 minute and 15 seconds. Enjoy when you were live with Big J. Hope to catch more of it. Absolutely. 1 minute, 10 seconds. 1 minute, 9 seconds. Let's see. Is that it? Victor Vodnik for Connor Norby and Aiden May. Oh, no. It's the Marlins get Victor Vodnik from the Rockies. They get some bullpen help. Victor Vodnik, an interesting arm. 1 minute till the deadline. Less than 1 minute. Connor Norby and Aiden May to the Rockies. Guardians acquiring Nathaniel Lowe from the Reds. Inter-Ohio trade. So 2 just fired off right at the end here. Are we gonna get what? We're gonna get one more. Let's take the Lars Nootbaar down. Stop that. "25 seconds. Refresh. Nope. But we did get these 2 at the end. And I can do a 10-second countdown on StreamYard, so I will. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's the buzzer. We're at 3 o'clock. The timer's off. So we're at 3 o'clock. The deadline is officially done. I'm going to hang out a couple moments here. And yeah, we're going to see if, is that it? Or do we have something else to come? Share the screen real quick. Jeff Passan. Here's what we got right at the buzzer. We got Marlins acquiring Victor Vodnik for Connor Norby and Aiden May to the Rockies. Then Guardians getting Nathaniel Lowe across Ohio from the Reds in Cincinnati. It looks like this is going to be it. Is this the end, guys? More coming for sure. Come on, Mariners. Absolutely. I think so too. I'll tell you what. I'm going to leave this up here. I'm going to go to the bathroom. And when I come back, hopefully in like 5 minutes or less, right, the Mariners are going to have made one more trade. There for sure is going to be at least one more trade on this screen. We're going to react to it. So I'll see you guys in just a moment. Going to stop the video and have this just the screen. All right, we're back. Gonna do a quick refresh. Nothing obvious yet. Oh, we got two more. The San Diego Padres with a big buzzer beater. They're acquiring right-hander Casey Mize from the Detroit Tigers. So Mize does move. It's just not to Houston, like we just saw somebody predicting. Yeah, Casey Mize to the Padres right now. So Padres, the big buzzer beater. AJ Preller is addicted to making trades, and he makes sure he gets one last one in at the deadline here. Then the Pirates are acquiring right-handed reliever Lake Bachar from the Miami Marlins. I might have butchered that name, but maybe I did, maybe I didn't. And I guess that's what we've got. So 22 seconds, right? This is so 3 o'clock is the deadline to submit to the league office. There could be something that we just haven't heard yet. There could be one or two more. We'll see. Sources tell ESPN everything, right? That's why his podcast is called Sources Tell Jeff Passan. Let's see. Yeah, so we got quite a few comments in here. Maybe not M's, but feel like there's always trades finalizing 30 minutes after the deadline. I do too, which is why I'm going to be staying on here for a little bit. It feels like we kind of, ran the 3-hour race, and now we're just seeing if there's anything else. So let's see. Let's do another refresh. Just keep refreshing. Mazda Padres does help us at least, does it? Here, Kirby and Hancock are both Seattle Mariners still. Cool down mode. That's right. Kirby and Hancock, but man, how do Kirby and Hancock feel right now after hearing everything? And then, so no Mize this series. Yeah, the Tigers, we don't have to face him. And yeah. So the prize deadline acquisitions could be, Brendan Donovan, Matt Brash, and Carlos Vargas. If you can get them back from the IL, you don't know. Maybe you get Cooper Criswell back. Maybe that's what you needed. But other guys can also get injured. So that's kind of why the depth is such an important piece. Cleveland did have a good deadline. I mean, Nathaniel Lowe. Let's go look at Cleveland one more time. They're definitely a big winner of the day. Didn't give anything crazy up. But they got Nathaniel Lowe. So does Manzardo go to the bench? Maybe. He's been hot, so probably not. Maybe they push Quan to center. Maybe they push or like Rocchio or even I don't know, Adele. Did Detmers not get traded? He did not, as far as I know. Detmers is still an Angel. Angels, I don't know what we have official for the Angels still, but I guess they got Arjun Namala. Yeah, as they're working on getting players and being. They got Nacho Alvarez. Detmers did not get traded. If I had done a thumbnail, I probably would get twice the viewers. That's my bad, guys. No, I should have done a thumbnail today, but it is what it is. Man. So Taylor Ward is it for the Mariners. Passan. All right, we're 7 minutes, almost 8 minutes past the deadline, and it looks like the last that we got was Casey Mize moving to the Padres from the Tigers. It's his first time. He was drafted by the Tigers years and years ago, so leaving them after a while. Then Lake Bachar, obviously, at the deadline. The Pirates wanted to get that last reliever in, and they did. That probably didn't cost too much. Maybe it's somebody the Mariners could have got. Maybe it's something the Mariners could have gotten and didn't really feel like they needed to get or want. Maybe the Mariners were in on this Victor Vodnik. But Marlins doing business right at the deadline. They get Victor Vodnik, then flip Lake Bachar right away so they don't have to DFA him. That's kind of savvy. I'm sure they just got cash for a prospect. That could have been a place that the Mariners, if they were working the phones on that, if they had wanted Bachar, maybe get I'm still pretty happy. Or King says we got a bullpen arm and a darn reliable right-handed bat. I agree with you. And let's move back over to the Mariners here. The Mariners situation. C and Brendan Donovan coming back, man. Weston Wilson will be a bench bat, and I actually do like Weston Wilson. He was part of the Faith and Family Day, which, by the way, shout out to the Mariners with the Faith and Family Day. As long as you go one over pitch, stay stoic, give all glory to God, you can't lose. So, love that part of that. I know. So Wilson was there. A couple other guys were there that weren't even on the promotional stuff. So shout out to all of them. I think Weston Wilson stays on this team for me. When it gets down to like Refsnyder and Robles and Ward and Wilson, it's going to be tough. It's going to be actually kind of a tough decision. None of them really separate above all the others. None of them are 413, 415, 433 in terms of contributions. Let's see what these guys can do in the next 7 days, as this roster starts to really shake out. Josh Simpson, Mariners acquired him back in spring training, and maybe that was a savvy move. Maybe he's the bullpen arm that you could have got now that you got back then. And he hasn't really shown a whole lot in 2026 so far. And when he has, it hasn't been great results, but who knows? Cole Wilcox is going to be needed more down the stretch. Cole Wilcox, Michael Rucker, got to realize, hey, you just got counted on a little bit. A lot more weight just got put on you. The Mariners just did not acquire somebody at the deadline. So, Padres for Mize was the end. Let's see if there's anybody saying anything. The Astros are done. The Dalton Varsho, so multiple sources tell The Athletic, Dalton Varsho is their only trade deadline acquisition for a second consecutive season. Houston fails to fortify a scuffling starting rotation that will rely on pitchers returning from lengthy layoffs. A lot of good alliteration in the writing, the sentence working from Chandler Rome, good writer. Okay, the Diamondbacks are finished. For bullpen help at the trade deadline, Aaron Levine says the Mariners are hoping to acquire Carlos Vargas by mid-August and Matt Brash by late August. I don't agree with everything he always says, but sure. Jack, I know you're I don't swear on here, so I'm not going to shut you out to say exactly what you said, but shout out to Jack, who was in the chat the other day, and enjoyed having you in here. Good back and forth in the chat with you. Bob Nightingale. Trade deadline over, but there will be a handful of deals still trickling in during the next 30 minutes. That's pretty much where we're at right now. Let's see. Cubs got Kevin Gausman, Clay Holmes, Ryan Zephyr-John, Braxton Garrett. I didn't get to talk about that. That's interesting. Cubs have a lot of depth at starting pitching now. And Tyrone Taylor. They're plus 2,000 to win the World Series. Cubs are going to make a run at it. Blue Jay M. I like the Ward edition, but a little disappointing to put it never made any more moves. I think that is how a lot of people feel, is that they feel that Ward, it's kind of the expectation was that you were going to get something like Ward. That's kind of what I expected. But the fact that everybody was expecting Kirby Hancock to get moved, I think, says a lot more about rumors and teams calling, and then the Mariners, and they're operating, not a business in terms of making money, a business in terms of business to win the World Series, like inner team, trades and stuff. Great to see M's won't have to face Skubal or Mize their upcoming series against us. Exactly. So who are the starters for the probable starters for the Tigers? Detroit. Eduardo Valencia, Ben Malgary. So yeah, this Tigers roster is looking a lot less put together than it was a couple days ago. McGonigal is really their best player, their biggest piece to build around. Now Max Clark, the Max Clark era. Max Clark never got to start one game, did he, with Tarek Skubal behind Tarek Skubal, did he? I think those two, it would have been interesting to see together, but you don't get to have that happen. Framber Valdez, Kader Montero, Casey Mai, and now Casey Mai's gone, Troy Melton. So they have a couple good pieces. They don't have a lot of pieces. And then who, like, is Ty Madden going to start games somehow for them? I don't know. Does he have experience? Jacob Wagyu-Espach. I know he has experience starting games. They have some good bullpen pieces. They're old. Excited to see Max added him on my fantasy team after trading Jordan Walker, getting Skubal. I like both of those moves actually working. I sold on Jordan Walker to get Joe Ryan, so or to get what was it? No, it was for Joe Ryan. So that was where I was at. And you obviously, trading him for Skubal, I would take Skubal over Ryan right this second. So obviously, good deal. And then getting Max, gives you another high upside play. You have a really good chance of, especially the shallower the league, the better the move. I think that is really high upside play. Give up Ray and Caballero too, but I needed pitching for playoffs. Fair. So did I. Then you got the first game of the MLB is about to start at 3:40. So perfect timing. We're going to get into actual, some baseball games here on Monday. Most teams don't have games today. I think like half the league is playing, but yeah. So that's where we're at, basically. Make sure to drop a like on the stream. Enjoyed hanging with y'all. Going to be here for just a couple more minutes, seeing if do we have anything for Jeff Passan. One more refresh at Passan. Nothing so far. Here's the trade deadline is done. Kind of Across the returns for the Foster Griffin, Christian Franklin, Luis Garcia Jr., and Curtis Mead, the Nationals have netted 9 pitchers at this year's trade deadline. Shout out to the Nationals with Paul Taboni. They are, I'd say, some of the biggest winners over the last 365 days. Not many teams have improved themselves more than the Nationals in terms of situation they've been in, especially in terms of standing in the MLB. They were among some of the lower tier teams, definitely the bottom third. 8 months ago, and now I'd say they're firmly in the top 10. So it completely flipped it on its head. Red Sox trade deadline out in Rutschman, Adley Rutschman, Eric Miller, Eli White, Curtis Mead, and Jake Rogers out. Connolly Early, Marcelo Mayer, Anthony Ianson, Kyson Witherspoon, Azokar, Carlos Narvaez, and a PTB now. The Phillies come out of this trade deadline with Arise, Killian, Rayleigh, and a back-end SP, your opinion will be. So they got Arise and some pitching help. I don't know if they end up getting that starting pitcher. Pencils down, that's all for Yankees trade deadline. Latest. All right. Yeah, so apparently Will Warren was offered for Heliot Ramos and turned down. So wonder what we still don't know about the package for Heliot Ramos. So I don't know, maybe do any of these deals get killed with medicals or anything is a good question right now. Who won the deadline? That's a question that I want to ask you guys. I want to see if I can put put a poll up or something. It's the one that I can do where it's you guys are allowed to add options. I don't think so, but Ward leads the MLB in walks. You know what that reminded me when I heard that today? It reminded me of Jesse Winker leading the AL in walks with the Mariners way back when in 2022, which helped them make the playoffs. Some other things you might not have liked about Winker, but he did help the team make the playoffs. That's for sure, by walking a ton, which was a great equalizer. Compared to guys who were getting more hits and stuff. Red Sox, Phillies, and Dodgers won deadline at IMO. I think I would agree with that. Bummer Mead breaking hand first game on Sox. Other teams I would say that won the deadline. Guardians absolutely won the deadline. Nationals absolutely won the deadline. Those two teams made some really, really, really solid moves. Wow, the Mets did a lot. Out Minter, Peralta, Rayleigh, Brazoban, Holmes, Taylor. In Amik Agbayani, Gilhill, Petrie, Smith, Spikerman, Gabrish, Davis, Franklin, Stafford, Rojas. So they got a lot of farm talent and just got out of there all the one-year deals that they had to. Good, shrewd business for the Mets to get a whole bunch of farm talent. See you at spring training next year. Based on what I was expecting to happen, not a bad trade deadline for the Blue Jays. Sure. Yeah, I think they got some stuff back too. That's interesting. They did really replenish starting pitching. Teams, I think overall you see teams that want to, I don't know, teams that are really contending right now that are like in the thick of a division race are acquiring hitting where they need it, right? Not just hitters overall to build around, but hitting where they need it. And then pitchers, it's like everybody is trying to acquire pitchers. Are you really good? You always can use one more pitcher. Are you trying to build yourself into something good? Well, you better build it around a pitcher. So we had a young one or controllable one. Go get a bunch of minor league ones, right? Yeah, Red Sox we saw. I'm obviously not responsible for anything that comes up on Twitter right here. So yeah, some people think it's abysmal for Cash and the Yankees. Some people might think that they won. Yankees got Luis Garcia and Heliot Ramos. Phillies didn't add a starting pitcher. So look at, you know what the common thread here is? Somebody's swearing. I don't want to put that up on my channel, but Yankees fans are mad they didn't get what they wanted. Phillies fans are mad they didn't get what they wanted, even though they both got stuff. You know, Phillies got Luis Ariz plus a whole bunch of bullpen guys. The Yankees got Ramos and Heliot Ramos, and they got Luis Garcia Jr. Tigers president of baseball operations, Scott Harris. There's a picture of him. I feel like I look like him just a tiny bit. Padres did decent. I agree with you, Or King. And Bummer Mead breaking the hand first game on Sox. Absolutely. He was one of my guys in fantasy baseball that, you know, I was picking him up and running with his hot streak. And then him getting injured was annoying. Yeah, a lot of people are really upset is, I think, the lesson to learn right here. All right. See people picking stuff up, dropping stuff in fantasy baseball. Sure you guys see the same thing. Yeah, Caleb Killian, Brooks Raley, that's good bullpen help. Just Dominguez for the Mariners, I actually think that's exactly what you needed. I know I'm not going to be the popular opinion there, but like, who else should the Mariners realistically have got? One more pass and refresh. It's 322. Oh, there we go. There's one more. Oh, St. Louis Cardinals got Caleb Ferguson. All right. For $250,000 in international bonus space. I could be completely wrong, but you might be able to like trade that after the deadline, or this could just be coming in a little bit late. But yeah, Caleb Ferguson to the Cardinals. They just are trying to flip pitchers and get Chaim Bloom's specific type of pitcher in their organization. Don't know. He was on like a 1 or 2 year deal with the Reds. The Reds are just, kind of dumping things off the last second. Nate Lowe, Caleb Ferguson. They end up getting some bonus space from St. Louis. End up getting something for Nate Lowe, from Cleveland. So might as well, right? Yeah, teams are just figuring out their windows, making the moves now that there's no time to wait, and it's like, okay, there's assets that we needed to dump, and other teams are like, yeah, well, either they're assets we needed to maybe acquire one more of, or felt like maybe we could. We don't have to give up too much. Sure. And you're hoping, Orking, that Garcia, that his rest of season is boosted hitting in the Yanks ballpark for your fantasy sake. I think so. He is a righty. Again, the Yankees get 2 righties, I think, at the deadline here. They still got Ben Rice as a lefty. Let's just hope and pray that they don't like platoon Ben Rice or something weird. That would be awful. Ben Rice is like their whole lineup. I mean, especially with Bellinger being out, they felt like they needed to add some more. And hope Ward is in lineup tomorrow. I think he will be. Don't you? I don't see why not. Yeah, get it. Get his power in the lineup. Get his walks in the lineup. Does he slot in 7th? That's the question, I guess, for now. Is that the end? I think we're pretty close to done. It's 3:24. Not going to be a whole lot more trickling in. So I'm going to be signing off here in a minute. But before that, let's just one more time go review the Mariners. Taylor Ward slotting into the lineup. Going to play pretty much every day. Dominic Canzone is out of a platoon role. Oh, let me share this tab. There we go. Taylor Ward, Dominic Canzone, left field, right field. Randy Arozarena moves to DH in this scenario that Fangraphs roster resource has. So we'll see what actually happens. If it were me, if I'm guessing the lineup, assuming Brendan Donovan is back as well, let's say Donovan is going to let's build the lineup around who we know we're building it around. Let's build it around Julio's going to hit, 4th. Canzone's going to hit 3rd. I'm going to slot Raleigh and Naylor in 5 and 6. I think those spots stay. I think Randy stays at the 2 spot. He's your best hitter as well. Cole Young is so hot. Really, the question is, does he move out of the leadoff spot? For Brendan Donovan, I don't think right away. Cole Young has been hot. Maybe after one 0-for-4 game, you can do it to Cole Young, but not. Just let him ride that hot streak where he's the 12th best hitter in the baseball over the past 7 days. Why not, right? And then that kind of takes care of the first 6. Then you've got Taylor Ward, Colt Emerson, and Brendan Donovan. Yeah, Taylor Ward, definitely slot him in there in the 7th spot. Get those walks as high as you can. Then Emerson and or you could hit Donovan, right? 7th. You could even move Cal down. You could move Naylor down if you really wanted to. I don't see the Mariners wanting to do that necessarily, though. I think those guys are getting hot at the right time. I actually do. And yeah, then you slot Brendan Donovan maybe in at 8th and Colt Emerson at 9th. Or maybe even Donovan slots in at 9th. And then you get that way you don't have to have Emerson and Young next to each other. Donovan Young is more interesting, I think. And also that's a good looking batting lineup for the M's. I agree. Blue Jay. Weston Wilson, I've actually been a big fan of the last couple of weeks. Just think that he's taking long at bats. He has power and speed that he's showing off. He's a terrible defender, to be honest. He's just a busher out there, but he plays a lot of positions and he's athletic, so it could be a whole lot worse. He blocks balls and doesn't, but he does. He's not the best at handling the baseball, with his glove and everything. And the bench, Stuart Fairchild and Leo Rivas would be the 2 that move off when Donovan is back. So you'll have a bench of Garver, Refsnyder, Robles, and then Wilson, which is incredibly right-handed. So do you end up in that scenario? I don't know. And in that case, who are the lefties that Mariners can bring up? Well, you've got 4 on the IL that could be back soon. All of them, they're all on the 10-day IL. All could be back somewhat soon. Don't know exactly what order they'll be back in. Donovan will obviously back. So 3 other ones as far as bench options. Then minor leaguers, you should know, pretty much all righties there too, because that was the big need early on. Now it's not necessarily so in a little bit of a different position. But who are the top lefty hitters? All of a sudden, you've got this weird gap in lefty hitting depth where right now, if you needed a healthy one, Leo Rivas would be it. Let's go to AAA. Where is AAA? There it is. Carson Taylor is another switch hitter. He's the Rule 5 draft pick, the only one for the Mariners. Brock Rodden. Then you've got Miles Mastrobuoni, who made it back to the Mariners in AAA. After that, it's Laz Montez, Nolan Jones. That's the depth. That's the left-handed hitting depth. Okay, Nolan Jones has an easy pass to this roster. So does shout out to Victor Labrada. He's the only player on this list that I actually know personally. I worked with him in one of my old jobs. So shout out to Victor Labrada. Remember you from the FSP days. Can't wait to see you again Sunday on the field, whether that be in Tacoma or the Big League Club in Seattle, because he'll make it at some point. Spencer Packard could make it at some point this year. Nolan Jones, it looks like, will make it at some point this year. And I mean, you look at this, right? Donovan obviously comes back, but then it's like Rivas. And after that, the next guy that I'd really want to bring up, Nolan Jones. Maybe I've seen enough of Patrick Wisdom for now. And Joe Davis hasn't had a shot this year. He could get a shot still this year. Bliss could get a shot, had the injury scare this week, but I don't know where that's sitting at this moment. Could get a shot somewhere. Shout out to Don Dishes. Didn't make it on the stream. Had some other stuff he had to do today, but we'll get him on here hopefully tomorrow. We haven't really planned out the rest of this week. Tomorrow, actually, I did plan out tomorrow pre-game stream with Sean Collins of the Collins It Like It Is podcast. I've been on his post-game and his podcast. So I've been on his channel twice. Going to get him on. Going to do a collab with him. It's going to be a blast tomorrow, talking about the first, kind of doing the pregame, extended pregame of the first game of really the third, the home stretch, the final stretch, down the stretch, whatever you want to call it, of this season. So Sean Collins and I are going to be doing the pregame for that tomorrow. It's going to be perfect time there. But I also wanted to say, I'm pretty sure when I invited Sean Collins on, and we were texting back and forth this last week and stuff, I think he even said, like, I better do my homework on Taylor Ward. So let me go back. No, he said he'll start reading up on Waldschmidt. I'm going to tell him, I guess Taylor Ward is the one we'll have to read up on. Yeah, honestly, here's a crazy move for you guys, but looking at you don't have really any options on this roster. Rivas has the option. Fairchild's going to be let go as well. Yeah, and you're going to have Wilson in there. You might DFA Wilson and get Nolan Jones up right away, because you just have such a tough way of like getting some left-handed bench option in there for tomorrow's game. Or you might, you get Victor Labrada up. You could get, obviously, Laz Montez not quite yet, even though we did talk about that, and it's not impossible that he could debut this year. I don't think it will. It's an outside chance, and but with Luke Raley, if his somehow injury extends, and maybe you have that as an option, Brock Rodden, I guess, as a switch hitter, or you just keep Leo Rivas tomorrow, and you end up giving up on Weston Wilson a little bit earlier, which I really like what Weston Wilson has done, and I just don't see us giving up on him right at this moment. I see him, or does the team decide this is it for Refsnyder or Robles? I would not be happy giving up on Robles. I think he's got too much speed, too much, in there, like the 4-hit games. I think there's more of those in the hat for him. He's also only, 29.2, and, the last kind of healthy season he had, he almost hit 300 for the Mariners. Then Refsnyder, I guess if I had to give up on one of him or Robles, I'd probably give up on him first because of everything this year. But I do think he's showing signs too. As much as, I feel like, obviously there's plenty of reasons to lambaste me for saying that. There's plenty of other reasons that I'm still saying it. Then I mean, yeah, Weston Wilson. If I had to give up on one of the three, I'd give up on Wilson over Refsnyder and Robles just because that's the way I would do it. But I don't know. The Mariners have some questions at some point. Maybe Mitch Garver or Cal. Of any injuries, right? Pareto will be the backup catcher, or you could just not see him the rest of the year, and those two stay around. Garver and Raleigh. Wisdom, who knows if he's going to get another chance? I wouldn't be thrilled to see him or Joe. I think most fans could say the same. Bliss hasn't necessarily had a super good chance. Not necessarily also a guy who's showing you everything to be like, oh, this guy's for sure should be getting more game time. But in a pinch, you wouldn't feel bad about giving him more opportunities. So that's kind of where the Mariners are at. Trade deadline's over. We'll do one last Jeff Passan refresh, and then we're going to go ahead and sign off for the day. And oh, never mind. It looks like I think that's it with Jeff Passan. Trade deadline's over. One more right here. Twinsky and Jeff Hoffman at the end. Let's see. Anything new at all? Out. Okay, here's Jake Cheddar race to try and Luis Castillo, Alex Hoppe, Brock Moore, Harrison Kryling, in Taylor Ward, Sir Anthony Dominguez, Nolan Jones, and Boston Smith. Jake's take rhymes right there. Not getting a high leverage reliever when yesterday was a prime example why you need one. It could have been done is a failure. That's his take, not mine. I actually do disagree. I'm going to get to that in a sec. I'm going to let him finish. I don't agree with putting a bunch of faith in Matt Brash and or Carlos Vargas to be those guys for you once back. I believe in both of those guys being that for you. I don't know if they're going to come back. So that I don't know if he's saying the same thing. I would maybe need to clarify. Yeah, maybe they see Sloan and Cade as their bullpen options. And also, my other take is that I think Sir Anthony Dominguez is debatably a high leverage reliever. He shut you down in inning 6 of Game 7 of the ALCS last year, and a 4 ERA isn't going to move me off of that opinion. He has the velocity, which is the great equalizer, which makes him a much safer option than people realize. He's somebody with a lot of experience who has pitched in 2 World Series and has given up the biggest home run in Mariners history last year to Gino Suarez in Game 5 of the ALCS. Has also had great moments in the playoffs. So he has a lot of experience, and he even knows how the pitching lab works for a lot of these other teams that the Mariners might play in the playoffs. So he can tell you, hey, just a guy with a lot of experience in that bullpen, more experience than any of the other guys. The contract is half as bad as Luis Castillo, and you have to have him. It would have been nice to go get a high leverage reliever, but this is where I disagree with Jake's take, which is that I disagree with the idea that, if Brash or Vargas are healthy, Brash, I definitely bet on being there, and Vargas, I want to get something out of. Like, I don't want him to not, have a spot in the bullpen once he gets back. I don't want to be AAA guy. So that's where I look at those guys, and it would have been nice to get like Mason Miller. Also would have been nice to get one of the Padres guys. It doesn't seem like the price made sense, simply for Jerry Dipoto. And we do not know what these prices were like on these relievers is the thing. But I do trust, overall, right, without knowing any of that, got to trust Jerry a little bit. So in Jerry, we trust to some extent, right? Let's go see how this stuff works out. So anyway, this is the final. And thank you guys all for joining. It's been 3 hours, 18 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. I will see you guys tomorrow with Sean Collins for a pregame of tomorrow's first game of the third part of the season. I'll remind you guys, Billy Bean quote I started with. The first 50 games of the season, everybody's figuring out what they have and what they need to go get. The second 50 games of the season, everybody's going to getting what they need to get. And then the final 50 games of the season, that's when you play. So we'll kick that off tomorrow right here on the 1-0 podcast on the Dom Skeen channel, your one-stop shop for the Mariners storylines on Seattle's minds. And remember, as long as you go 1-0 every pitch, stay stoic, and give all glory to God, you can't lose. Welcome Taylor Ward, Sir Anthony Dominguez, Nolan Jones, and Boston Smith to the Seattle Mariners organization and community. Let's go get it. Let's go 1-0 tomorrow, and let's go win the whole thing. Let's go win the whole freaking thing, as Cal Raleigh said. I will see you guys tomorrow. Go M's.